All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And now I'm Cool Cat Terry.
And again, we are joined by the incredible Frank from the Game Complainers. Say hello to everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
I almost called you Fred. I'm sorry. That's
That's
why there was a
okay.
pause, an awkward
It's
pause.
close enough. I'll take it. Whatever you got.
But the awesome F word from. No, just kidding.
I don't know about that, but
I'm just messing with you, man.
that's cool.
Again, thank you so much for being here. Of course, if you missed Frank on Iconic Video Games, where he got to talk about some of his favorite games from Gamescom, be sure to check that out. But Frank is here. Frank, again, in case we have some new viewers of the show, because I do have different audiences, let everybody know about you.
I am on a show called The Game Complainers every Wednesday between 9:30 and 9:45, where we go over the news. And I like to talk about Nintendo stuff. That's like my favorite thing on there.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to check that out, Wednesday night.
There you go.
Yep.
Yes. And of course, he is a fellow Tricky.
Absolutely. That's
Live
another
long in
huge
podcast. Live long
Yeah.
in podcast. Yes. So yeah. Gamescom has been going on this week, but you know what? Before we get into the Gamescom news, which is basically going to dominate this whole show, Terry, what have you been playing this week?
Absolutely nothing.
You've been stuck to the news, the Gamescom news.
No, but I have saw that I got a couple updates on X with some trailers and things for things that I follow that were announced. So I have an idea of some things that I'm looking forward to now, but I haven't actually watched it. I was too busy working all week, so I didn't get a chance to really dive into it. I tried watching Phil Spencer's interview the one day, but it was boring, so I stopped watching.
It's only 12 minutes long.
I was like, no. I think I maybe watched, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes. I don't even know if I got that far.
Oh my, yeah, it was only 12 minutes.
It was
long.
A lot of nothing being said. It was just kind of like.
I wonder if they go to corporate like speaking school to say a whole lot of nothing for 12 minutes.
So
they always find a way to do that. So
yeah, so I was like,
and I'm not just talking about Phil and them. I'm talking about all higher ups. Like they publicly
word
speak
salad,
very differently than they do in behind closed doors. That's all I'll say.
So after I just heard them, basically say a lot of nothing and just use some keywords, I was like, okay, I'm done. Moving on. I got other things to do.
And of course, we'll talk about the interview here in a while. Frank, what have you been playing this week?
Not too much. Mostly just Diablo. I've just been doing the new season or whatever.
Is it season 5 or something like that?
I don't even know what it's up to now. But once I started to see the Vessel of Hatred stuff, I was like, I gotta start playing this again. So I've just been playing that. It's
What's
pretty
your
good.
character?
I on the main campaign I played as a barbarian. Now I'm still doing that just a little bit differently. So that's like my favorite class. I don't know. It's just easy to just get in and veg out and play that class. So
I was playing as a the shapeshifter, the guy that can transform into wolves and bears.
Oh yeah.
What is he? Oh my god, I forgot his.
They call them druids in that game.
Druids, yes, druid.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, druid. I've been playing druid. I played as a druid, but I got upset because I really like wolves, and wolf druid sucks. Bear druid was all about it, and I was like, oh my god, I can't play a wolf druid.
Yeah,
kind of made, and it upset me that you had to build a meta build to get through the campaign.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That upset me. Like, of all places to not do meta would be the campaign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am still a Diablo fan. I am gonna play Vessel of Hatred, and I'm gonna try the end game because, like Diablo 3, I played like 10 seasons of end game.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, you don't want to go against my warrior monk. I remember playing for 12 hours straight just to find one stone.
Oh my gosh!
And I finally got it. I was like, yes. And so because rare drops.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. Sometimes you could go forever and not find anything. So it depends.
Yeah. And then the devs wonder why people use game bots.
Yeah,
that can run the dungeons for you.
Well, if you have any sort of life, how are you supposed to do this? It's like impossible.
Man, yeah. But I don't know if I'll get into it that much anymore. But I do want to play.
Yeah, I just play casually.
Terry,
it's too much.
What was it?
Do you play Diablo?
I did until they ruined it. But
So until Diablo 3?
No, 4. 4, I hate 4. I despise 4.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't get into it. I actually liked 4. I especially liked the way they did the cutscenes in 4.
Cinematics are great in 4.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my issue isn't like their storyline. My issue is the way they done their gameplay and the way that they kind of completely rebranded how the game is played.
Yeah,
that's my issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, games got to evolve. I think
games got to evolve. I agree, but it should still feel. That's like saying games need to evolve, and you take a single player game and you turn it into an MMO. I mean, the people aren't going to enjoy it the same. There's evolution, and there's them completely changing the complete makeup of the game to where it doesn't feel like itself.
No, I feel what you're saying, because if they took my precious Halo and changed it into a third-person shooter, I'd be flipping out.
Yeah,
I'm flipping out, man.
Yeah,
it could still have really fun gameplay, but it just won't feel the same.
If they made, like, I don't know, an ODST 2, or some new property, right? Like, I don't know, Halo. I don't know.
Just make it an offshoot, and then they can get away.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what kind of offshoot can be a third person. I don't know, fleet com battles or something like that, and you made it like a third person view of your spaceship. That'd be cool. Yeah, something like that would be cool. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see. The Game Complainers joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. I saw Sith Lord in here early, but it doesn't show up. So shout out to you, Sith Lord. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And of course, as always, thank you for the shout outs. You're awesome. Doggy Dog 420 joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Fastback joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. By the way, guys, let us know what you've been playing. We love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. What else we got? We got Vengeance in the house. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. Let's see. Fastback has been playing up Brotato lately. That's awesome. I've heard a lot of people get into Brotato as of late. Let's see. Fastback, Gamescom had a lot of games, and of course a lot of TMZ clickbait morons responding to Xbox. Phil lied. Wow. All right, there you go. TMZ. Sorry. Let's see. Shout out to Dan, the man Cunningham. He joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, hey all, how's everybody doing today? We're doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Happy Cloud Gamer joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, hello, CEO. We use words that might sound like lie. I've been working close to many CEOs. Yeah, and like I said, it's not just the CEO. It's like the higher up corporate people. I just feel that they use a lot of fluff. Let's see. Doggy Dog says he's been playing Dungeons of Hinterberg, and it is a great game. He loves it. Shout out to Jacob Novik. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, hi, Concord has a 66 minute and 2.5 user score. Deserved, in my opinion, but feel sad for Firewalk since they probably will shut down. As I said, when if you watch Iconic Video Games, we talked about Concord, and I said it looked great. I said I wasn't going to play it because I don't like hero shooters, but I thought it looked great. It looked very polished. But, the era of hero shooters, the hero shooters, the battle royales, all that stuff, it is a very difficult market to break into. But let me tell you, if you do, you're set for life.
And it was in development for so long that the time had passed, I think, when it would have been viable. If it came out a couple of years ago, maybe, but it was in development for so long that by the time it came out, look where we're at. Like you said, the market's very competitive, so...
Yeah, you think with Overwatch, I know that Overwatch 2 has had its critics, heavy critics. So you think because of those heavy critics that people would be willing to try a new hero shooter, but I guess not enough.
No.
Not enough. But again, like I said, a lot of people aren't playing Overwatch as they used to anymore either. So people have moved on. Those young adults, those young teenagers have moved on to something else, either adulting or a different genre, you know. But yeah, hero shooters are just you know, they're good. What's the original hero shooter from Steam? Team Fortress.
Team Fortress, yeah.
Yeah, Team Fortress. I mean, they're still around, and when you really think of big hero shooters, you only think of two: Team Fortress and Overwatch.
Yeah.
No, there was the other one that was real big on PC. That was that Saturday night something or other.
Oh, the finals.
Something like that. It was that big. I think it was one of the first arena brawlers that really kind of took off.
I'll have to think about which one you're talking about.
I feel like that game influenced Overwatch. I forgot what it was, but it was a major game on PC.
Yeah. I'll have to. It doesn't ring a bell. I must have not heard of it.
I'll have to look. I'll look it up, see if I can find it.
Yeah. Shout out to Jacob Novik. He says, also, my reflexes makes me block people I disagree with on Twitter, so sorry for blocking you, Axel. I followed you again. This incident happens a lot. It happens, actually. It's so funny because I do the same thing. I'll be like, why aren't I seeing any news from this guy? Turns out I blocked him. So I 100% understand. I 100% understand what you're going through, Jacob Novik. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I've been playing Starfield. Awesome buggy to fight. In open world, now it's fun. I really want to try that buggy in Starfield, but I'm saving all my newness till September 9th when the DLC Shattered Space comes out. Yes, sorry. All right, but let's get straight into it, guys, as we have a lot to talk about. Up first, I want to address Towerborne. Now, this is from Xbox News, from the Xbox News website. And their headline says, Towerborne, why early access and a focus on fun means a better game for everyone. And they go on to it. But the part that gets to everybody is Towerborne will have a phased release starting with Steam early access and Xbox game preview following. And then a free-to-play launch, which I think free-to-play is awesome. Now, I read this whole article, and on the whole article, you know, everybody's flipping out about the Steam Early Access part. I did too. I think it's kind of crap. But they never talked about the Xbox Insider program where Towerborne was for a while. So I feel that some people are reacting a lot towards that. But I don't understand why it was on Xbox Insider, and then it's like, okay, screw Xbox, Steam only. And then back to Xbox. I mean, it's not even on Xbox Game Pass early access, so it kind of bothers me. And again, this has been my big bother with console as a Xbox console gamer, that I feel that Xbox isn't treating us well. Right? This is an Xbox first party game. It should come to Xbox everything first, and it's not, and that takes away from the aura, from the allure of being a console gamer, right? The fact that PC just gets preferential treatment, and it isn't just Towerborne that's done this to us. You know, you can go back and watch this show. You know, I thought it was crap that Age of Empires didn't come to Xbox right away. Age of Empires 2 came out. And then Age of Empires 2 on the Xbox came out. I'm like, okay, great. They got the controller thing figured out. Age of Empires 4 surely will launch on Xbox as well. Same day and date. It didn't. It was like a year apart. Flight Simulator, same thing. Flight Simulator release, and it doesn't come to the consoles for a year. Gears Tactics did the same thing. There's no reason why Gears Tactics needed to launch on PC first and then Xbox. And so this just is a long list. It joins the list of games going to PC first instead of coming to Xbox first. So that is what I have issues with on this one. And that's what bothers me. Now, I'm not against Steam Early Access or any of that, okay? I'm a Steam user. I 100% can play this game. Nothing is stopping me. I'm just complaining about the allure, the treatment of console-only gamers like my nephew, who doesn't have a gaming PC like I do. So let's go to Frank first. Frank, what do you think? Do you think I have a point, or do you think I'm full of hot air over here?
I do think you have a point, and I agree with you. This is not cool. They trust us to be insiders and early access people for their software for tons of things. We test out all the features usually if we're in that program. If you're subscribed to Game Pass, there's really no reason they shouldn't allow us to check this out early. I don't know why. There's been a lot of answers to why this is going to Steam first. I don't know if it's because there's something with the development or whatever, but this is a first party title, I believe. So I don't know why.
Yep.
I don't know why they would do this. I'm looking forward to this game. I saw it when they announced it, and I was like, man, I really want to play this. So I'm gonna have to check it out on Steam. But I think that it's kind of unfair to all of us that bought the console, that subscribed to Game Pass, even if you made it, like I said, just for insiders to check out. That's something, but to just completely skip it and say, next year, I don't know. I don't like that. So,
yeah, and I'm not an insider, as I know that insiders get like software updates and all that stuff, but I've also heard horror stories that insiders get their consoles bricked.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to insider. So early access was going to be my, or not early access, game preview, Xbox game preview was going to be where I was going to play this first. So now I'm kind of on the like, okay, well, Steam early access it is. Right. By the way, this game looks fantastic.
It does.
It looks like so much fun. It reminds me of Castle Crashers so much.
Yeah.
But Terry, do you think that Xbox is treating us console gamers bad? Or obviously, this is the bad news for the week. Next week, I'm going to be over it and talk about something else, obviously. But this is the flavor of the week. What do you think?
I mean, I'm probably going to be the minority and say no, because we keep having this conversation about how Xbox is no longer a console brand. They are an ecosystem. So it makes what people seem to want special attention because they're on the console. And I get it. You primarily play on the console. I get that. But if they're an ecosystem outside of just the console, you have to stop trying to act like you're the only one that's going to get first access to things that they have. I mean, they're an ecosystem. They're not a console brand. So, it's people just need to stop that old way of thinking about how Xbox console has to be first for the Xbox brand, because that hasn't been their prerogative in over a decade, and yet people are still thinking with that mentality. No, they're not doing you dirty. They're focused on their ecosystem. They're not focused on the console. And we've had how many shows now where we've talked about how they're not focused on the console, and yet when they continue to not focus on the console, everybody wants to act shocked, like what? Like it's new to you again? Like, come on, it's getting old. It's getting old. They're an ecosystem. Okay, they're not console focused anymore. Let them grow their ecosystem.
So Phil Spencer has publicly said that the console is their lifeblood, quote unquote, right?
It is their lifeblood, but they're changing it.
But also, too, this is going to be on Steam. It's not even going to be on the Xbox store for PC first. That's the problem. It's not even their ecosystem anymore. It's outside of it.
Yeah, I think that's also been an issue, is that the ecosystem is not being defined to us very well. I remember I thought it was going to be on platforms where Game Pass exists. If you recall that statement, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. That's the Xbox ecosystem. That is the walled garden, if you will. Not that I have any issues with Steam. I'm a huge Steam fan. I like Steam. I get all my games from Steam. So I'm not saying anything against Steam, and I think it's great that they've expanded into Steam, right? But the ecosystem, where is the ecosystem anymore? That is the part that I think is maybe leading to some of these flip outs that people have when things like this happens, So if Xbox is unclear about it, well, you gotta accept my reaction, right? So I follow Paris Vicious 696 on Twitter. Huge. He says some things I agree with, and he says some things I disagree with. By the way, Jacob Novik is one of those examples of someone I will block and unblock constantly, just because sometimes I don't want to hear it, But he did say something regarding this. He says, I asked why Towerborne was going Steam Early Access on September 10th before coming to Xbox as a preview, and the answer was simple. Now, he didn't say who he asked. He just said he asked, and this is the answer. So I don't know what's going on, but let's see. He says, this is what Stoid wanted to do, as Steam has been a platform where early access is common, and it allows them more time to work on issues and add requested features before introducing it to a console audience for more feedback and onto launch. No conspiracy theories, just genuine effort to try to deliver the best game possible.
I agree with all of it.
I disagree with it because
I agree with all of it.
I disagree with it, and I'll tell you why. Because there's this little game, I don't know if you've heard of it, Terry, called not Towerborne. Oh, Jesus Christ, Power World.
Yes.
Power World launched into Steam Early Access and Xbox Game Preview at the same time. A true indie studio. Not to say that Stoic is a huge team, but I'm just going to say their resources are probably far more than Power World are, right? So Power World can do it. Now, I'm going to asterisk this right now. The version on Steam of Power World is different than the version of Xbox on Power World. The crossplay is not enabled. None of that stuff that we're used to on Xbox exists on Power World on Game Preview, Xbox Game Preview. Okay, so just saying, they could do it, though. They could address two different audiences at the same time, whereas Towerborne can't. So, Terry's on Team Paris.
They're not saying they can't. You're putting you're okay. You're projecting. They're not saying they can't.
What?
They're just choosing to put it on Steam first because Steam is going to be the most recognizable, and it's going to be the easiest one for them to put stuff on. It's just the hard facts. When it comes to releasing game content, it's easier to release a game as an indie studio on Steam than anywhere else. All right, they're not saying they can't do it. It's just it makes sense. And if you recall, Palward was a hot mess during the early access on the Xbox console. Everybody was having all kinds of server issues. Okay, so just because they can doesn't mean you necessarily should. All right, get your stuff in check first, because they easily could have saw that they were overloading their servers just from doing it on Steam by itself. They would have seen how many people wanted to play it to where they could have, started planning for that before releasing it on console. They released it on both of them at the same time, and look what happened. They had to go into an immediate panic and try to get Epic to help them get more servers because they weren't prepared for that amount of players. So that's why it may not be necessarily best to put your game everywhere at once when you're new, okay? Because you don't know how the outcome is going to be of that game. So I agree. Put it on Steam. Figure out what you need to do so you can polish it better for console, because we also know console gamers are a lot more critical of their games when it comes to quality than a PC gamer is going to be. PC gamers are used to having a plethora of indie titles on Steam that they can play, and they're expecting and understand that early access means there's going to be problems with said game. You go and put an early access preview on Xbox, and everybody still expects it to run like a fully fledged, polished, finished game every single time. They even did it with what was the bug one they had?
Bug Snacks?
No. I forgot what's called the survival game with the bugs.
Oh, Grounded.
Grounded. That same thing happened with Grounded. Grounded got hit with so many negative reviews in the beginning because, shocking, console gamers didn't understand the concept that a preview meant that it was an unpolished game. Even when you boot up the game, it said this is an unpolished game and not, a representation of the final product. But still, console gamers can't get that through their head, and so they started freaking slamming negative reviews about how the game was crap, it didn't work, it need fixes, and that, they're not going to give them any money for the finished release or anything like that, or they're not going to buy anything for the game. Because I think they eventually added stuff that you can get. I can't remember. They added a lot of content later on. But, it's just that mentality. Console gamers are more relentless with their criticisms than a PC gamer is going to be with a preview game. So I personally would see it as a developer suicide of putting your game in preview on console unless that game was exclusively going to be on console only. Otherwise, I would not do it. I would fix it on PC and then put it on console. Because, yeah, I'm not going to have my game get hit with all these negative reviews and then be dead on arrival because they can't grasp that it's a preview.
That's right. Yeah, PC Master Race all the way. Sell those consoles.
Can I put on a tinfoil hat real quick? As I was just thinking of something.
Yes.
I remember because I was there 10,000 years ago, Gandalf, when Pal World and Ark and stuff were launching on Steam and Xbox. And I remember the patches, the Xbox versions were behind because they couldn't get through certification fast enough as they're developing this game. These are games that need constant updates. Now, I wonder if this has something to do with that, which that's still a problem because this is a first party game. You should be able to get your certifications and your patches passed through in a timely fashion. So that's still something they need to address, but I'm wondering if maybe that has something to do with it. It's easier for them to quickly send out updates on Steam to get further through the development. I still don't think it's an excuse, but it could be part of the issue there.
No one has said this, but I kind of get the impression that the Xbox certification is the hardest one to get through.
Yes, absolutely.
Like out of all out of everybody.
There's a lot of red tape. You got to go through a lot of hurdles to get on Xbox. A lot of hurdles.
Right.
But that is an issue, especially if it's something that they're putting money into and their first party title. I mean, there should be some kind of expedited program for them. You would think.
You would think their first party would have like, as you said, expedited. First. I don't know, preference to get through that. Yeah, you'd think they would. So Terry. Back to your point that console gamers, I kind of tend to agree with you because if you remember when stuff went into early access, you want to know who reviewed it? Guess who? It's my most hated gaming news website of all time, IGN. IGN tends to give scores to games in game preview. They did it to Grounded, remember?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, they did it to Pal World, remember? So I can't disagree with what Terry's saying because it's a game preview. Let's give it a rating.
Yeah, and I think that's ridiculous. No game in early access or preview should get a rating. And
absolutely.
And also, I'm not, just going to say it, but it can create another conversation that we don't need to get into right now. But I also feel any game that's in early access or preview also should not be part of the, game award conversation because that's been happening where we've been giving awards to preview games. Like, why are we doing this? Stop.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Fortnite. All right.
You, Fortnite.
So like, no, wait till the game is finished and then you can start,
do you think
judging
Xbox
it based on
doing
what
this,
it
though,
is.
because they know that people like that will do it. They will, if this goes into game preview, they know that it's going to get reviewed early. Windows Central is guilty of it too. And so do you think that they're like, you know what, before they over here and start talking smack, we're going to go to Steam. So yeah, I mean, Xbox could just be doing what's best for Xbox. Obviously they are, but maybe they're doing something that we don't understand, which is getting rid of those, reviews for games, because when you look up Grounded scores, it brings up that old pre 1.0 review score from it launching in terrible state, where if you built your base big enough, it would take it like 20 minutes to load a game to an hour. So yeah, there you go. Let me catch up with the chat because the chat is on fire today. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says they better support my software library on PC after they stop making consoles. Oh, they will. PC's going nowhere. We were here at the beginning, and we're going to be here at the end. You know how it is. Happy Cloud Gamer says Towerborne is looking awesome. Yeah. Is Xbox the publisher on too? Yes. Yes, this comes from Xbox Game Studios. Let's see. Some developers prefer to start on PC first. First is what it is. Nothing burger. Axel, play other games still on console or play on PC. Yeah, obviously, there's obviously games to play, but there's the news podcast. Got to talk about the drama. Plus, I am very much one of those guys that Terry doesn't like the whole, you got to treat us the same, equal rights. We need the gamer bill of civil rights over here. We need equal rights, man.
Well, why don't you draft a document and submit it?
I know, right? We're gonna make it constitutional.
Yeah.
The only way you could have true gamer equal rights would mean no exclusivity.
That is true. Terry, no lies detected.
I'm just putting that out there.
No lies detected. Let's see. Let me catch up. Oh, yeah. You see, my buddy Doggy here. No way on that insider program. Stuff messed up. My 1S opted out of that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was in the insider. Yeah, from the Xbox One. Yeah, I had the insider program, and it ended up causing an issue where it put my Xbox in an endless restart loop. Yep. It would just keep rebooting. The restart loops
happen a lot.
Yeah, and it wouldn't stop. And so I had to go in. I had to put it back into like factory settings and like lose everything just so I can get rid of the insider program and not deal with it. Like that was BS. I was like, never again. It broke my thing. So no.
I'm not going to be an insider. Just saying.
Yeah, no, they can keep that. They can keep that mess.
Yes. Cam MA, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. He says, good morning, gaming industry. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. Jacob Novik says, I'm on the Insiders program's highest tier, which means that my Xbox would be laggier than the other tier, but I only get around 1% lag. Wow. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Lots of developers work out optimization / bugs on PC first. Towerborne is not a first-party studio, just published. Money's coming from somewhere, right? Right? Publisher, put some money down. By the way, this game looks really good. I
also want to add, since it kind of ties into the conversation, that there have been plenty of ID at Xbox indie games that release on PC before Xbox. Just putting that out there. And I don't hear anybody complaining about that happening.
It's not first party, is it?
It doesn't matter.
But nobody cares. That's why
their ID at Xbox games. Xbox was helping them develop these games.
Nobody cares if it's not first party.
Nobody cares because they're indies. That's the problem. Okay?
Right, this is Good Morning Xbox, not Good Morning ID at Xbox. Okay,
that's part of the ecosystem. Okay, whatever, man. People are only fired up when it's going to be a big release game. Then they all of a sudden have an opinion. Otherwise, if it's a game they're not going to play, no one cares. And no.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure only me and Axel are going to play this game.
I know for a fact Terry's going to play this. It's a co-op game. She's 100% going to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's a co-op gamer. If
it's co-op PvE, yeah. If it's
okay,
co-op,
so only the three of us
is
will
this
play
PvP? Because then no, I'm not playing it.
No, it's definitely PvE. This is like Castle Crashers. I get a lot of Castle Crasher vibes when I see this.
Okay.
I'm 100%.
There's a good chance of it then, yeah.
Let's see. Shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. He says he 100% agrees with Terry.
I salute you, Dave.
There we go. Hypercloud Gamer says, okay, I got to say something. Video and music have not been linked to a hardware brand, so why should gaming? Problem I have is people don't like change. I could go with that. But there's even though video and music haven't been linked to hardware, there has always been a dominant piece of hardware. The Sony Walkman back in the 80s and 90s. The iPod in the early 2000s, stuff like that. There has always been a dominant piece of hardware that people choose. And in gaming, it's no different. So, yeah. Let's see. Web Dave believes that Steam will be available on future Xbox consoles. Wait and see. Hack now, Dave. Hack your Xbox now. You can get Steam now. You don't got to wait. You can be on the super duper insider program.
Well, can you hook me up with that? Because that sounds pretty cool.
Let's see. Axel is using feelings over common sense. Oh my gosh. And everybody keeps going on Terry. Terry's 100% on it today. The game completer has overloaded his backlog. Oh man, I feel you.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Shout out to Jonathan B. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says Terry is on fire. Dang, Terry, you got lots of fans today.
That's what happens when I take like a week off, man. I'm ready.
You're ready. You're ready today. You're refreshed. No beat down. Not beat down today. Let's see. Games on the Insider program is not a guarantee to release on console first, especially if the studio is not first party. A console version exists, though. Why wouldn't you release it if you made the time to make it? I guess it's not guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed, but it makes no sense to me.
If they're footing the bill, they should say, "Hey, you better put this on there." That's what I would do if I was me. But
yeah, if I was paying for your game, I'd be like,
make my console appealing. Come on.
Okay, yeah, you know, that's what I would do. Let's see, Web Dave. Terry is on fire. Keep cooking, girlfriend. That's right. Keep it up, Terry. Let's see. Good morning to Pig Pickles. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Jacob Novik says, you were there 10,000 years ago with Gandalf Fazal? If so, a question. You should not pass. You should not game pass.
I shouldn't. I don't know.
That's not a question.
Can I unsub?
Yeah, that's not a question. That's a statement. Shout out to Slendy. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. All right, I'm going to try to catch up as fast as I can, everybody. Let's see. Yes, do what Web Dave says. Hit that like button. It helps us get discovered, especially in the live section of YouTube where we compete. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's see. Shout out to DE. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And also eliminate seeing it at a showcase 2 years in a row. I'm not sure what that means. I think they're talking about Grounded. I recall people saying Grounded was out, and why is this being shown? Yeah. So a lot of people don't like the live service portions of the showcases, which I'm there for it. Let's see. Local co-op, Terry. Local co-op. You can play with your husband right there.
Wait, local? No one does that.
Yeah.
No one uses that.
Yeah.
For the most part. I'm not gonna say no one. People use it, but like that's like 1% of gamers use that. It's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I've gotten older, it is irrelevant. I agree. FarQ says, good morning, all. Good morning to you, FarQ. Thank you so much. And by the way, my friend who has 2 young boys, he hates the fact that local co-op isn't a thing anymore, and he has to keep buying new consoles for each of them. He hates that. Shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Last time for become. What the heck is that, Terry? What the heck is this?
What's
I'll let you read it.
Hit that like if you enjoy Axel Tears.
Oh my gosh. All right, so back to Paris. Moving on with the topic. So he expanded on his explanation. First paragraph is just introduction, so we're not going to read that. He says, Stoic is a small team and wanted to start a small and scale up, which is why early access is starting on Steam via purchasing the founder pack. So it's not even free. So it's purposely a smaller group of people that understand they're essentially helping to co-develop the game. Okay. Early 2025, they will open the floodgates to Xbox preview via Game Pass, which will see a huge number of people trying out the game before it goes final and launches. This is the path that Stoic has chosen to curate the best experience for early access to be nimble enough to address feedback. They also told me that Xbox Publishing has been doing nothing but being supportive in this decision after what I played yesterday. I say let them cook, as it will be worth it. So, on Steam, you got to buy the Founders Pack. You still playing? What's on? You still playing?
I mean,
I'm not paying. That's
kind of ridiculous. If like I have Game Pass, how is that fair? Like I don't know.
But boom, there comes the exclusive is Game Pass access to this free.
I feel like Founders Packs are kind of like the norm when it comes to Steam. Like
I feel like Founder Packs are just a way like, oh man, we ran out of money. I got it.
Well, that's what it seems like. Yeah, it's like they need us to give them more money to get this done, which, okay, that's fine. But, hey, you got the big boy behind you funding you. You should be all right, you know?
My favorite part is like, guys, we are going to do this to get feedback and address feedback. We only care about your feedback if you purchase the Founders Pack.
Yeah. So what do I get for being on Game Pass and having Xboxes? Like that's how I feel. I mean, I know it seems ridiculous and people are gonna be like whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not fair.
I feel like Steam and Xbox need to do an official partnership where like some of your Xbox stuff is accessible on Steam. Oh my God, Steam servers would crash if that ever happened.
What's not fair, because I've been in this boat a few times on Steam, is that, you know, a lot of MMOs and certain kind of like games like that tend to do founders packs that are free to play games on Steam. And you know what? I've gotten into a couple where they do the founders pack, so you can play the game. And then, you know, they do all their early access trials of the game, and then the game gets canceled, and so you paid to play, and you didn't even get the game. So
yeah,
them the breaks. PC Master Race.
You know what they should do? They should say, "Hey, if you connect to your Microsoft account, you can just play it." Like that would be fine. If they still want to do it on Steam, let me connect and access it. You know, like do something for me over here.
Yeah, as a Game Pass subscriber, you should have access to this game even on Steam.
Right, yeah.
Quote unquote, the platform. Right, Terry, the platform. But the platform's costing me more money on Steam. Well, where's that in the platform, Terry?
No. But look, hard facts right here. All right. Had they released this game, is it what's called Towerborne?
Towerborne, yes.
Towerborne. If they had they done the preview on both Steam and on Xbox, then we would be having an episode where Axel is crying over the fact that they did us dirty because the Xbox preview is inferior to the Steam preview. So come on now.
Oh, jeez.
That's what
I gotta make the news, man. I gotta make the news.
Look. They are trying to stay away from all that negativity, man. Look, and they even said open the floodgates because they know this is going to be a game that they're expecting to be widely received by the console player. So they want the console player to have a good experience with it. Okay.
How much is a Founders Pack? Is it like
let me see if it's up. I don't know.
Yeah, find out if it's up. I gotta know. I gotta know how much it is.
$44.99. Wait, that's hold on. Towerborne Gold Founders Pack bundle, $44.99. Let me see if there's a cheaper one. That's crazy.
Okay, hold on.
That's the price of the whole game.
Jesus. Wait, the whole game is only $25.
Hour.com.
Oh, okay, no. That's for like the Uber one. The regular Founders Pack is only $24.99.
So that's full price for the game. So how's it a Founders Pack if you're just paying full price for the game early?
I don't know. I don't know what you get from this, but yeah, it's $25 or $45 for the gold pack.
Look, so, every Founders Pack, every Founders Pack is the same. They're gonna give you some kind of cosmetic item that everyone's gonna wear, you know, immediately in the beginning. So everyone's gonna look the same, and then they're gonna give you probably some kind of currency item that you're gonna spend immediately in the beginning, and everybody's going to have the same thing again because they're only going to have like 2 things available on the shop to even get. So, yeah. You know what I mean? They all do that.
All right, so you get a bunch of skins.
Because everything will be like coming soon.
Founder bonus.
I would definitely not buy the $45 version. That's crazy.
But you get a Berserker Pox, Raider Stern, and Marauder Morbi Umbra skins. Founder exclusive.
Oh, well, in that
you know what exclusive means? It means it excludes Xbox.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, it sucks because I'm looking forward to this game a lot, but man, like,
you want to join the Discord? $44. Sorry, $25 for the access for the invite. Oh my goodness!
If it was just a regular, like another publisher or whatever, I wouldn't care. But I don't know. I just feel kind of different because Xbox is funding this. So,
all right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I would feel a bit different. I agreed. But yeah, the Founders Pack, okay. I'm not playing out on Steam. Just throwing it out there. I already pay for Game Pass. I don't need to pay for Founders Pack. Just saying. Okay, so Terry, are you playing this on Steam? Are you paying your hold on, let me see. Hold on.
No.
Are you paying your $25 to play this on Steam, or are you sticking to Game Pass?
I'll stick to Game Pass, and I'll patiently wait for it to come to console when they're ready. That's not the end of the world, you know. I'll enjoy it when it's time.
There you go. Frank, what about you?
I'm gonna say no, that I'm not gonna buy it right away, but I mean that is subject to change. If I see like a ton of people playing it and it looks really fun, I think it's worth the money. But I still think it's like kind of messed up that this is happening because I'm on Game Pass, so I should have access to it.
Can we send a random bill to Microsoft and just have them pay it?
I guess, but we'll probably get in trouble eventually. I just saw something about that recently.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because I saw that guy made like $13 million. It's like, man, you should have stopped while you were ahead, bro.
Well, I should send them a bill for $25 so that I can buy Towerborne. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's super fair. Super duper fair.
Yeah.
Let me go with catch up with the chat here before we change topics. Dreadpool says, I local co-op with Death Dealer, yeah, and Tiny Giant. I think this is 4 players, so all 3 of you will be able to local co-op. Yeah, that's awesome. Happy Cloud Gamer, shout out to you. Thank you so much for saying this. He says, good morning, Xbox is the best, most fun on YouTube. You guys should have 1 million subs now. Man, I can't disagree. Milfman, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Everybody is acknowledging. That's right. Everybody got out their popcorn. Let's see. Let me see. Sounds like the tithing pack. Oh, DE, because it's Sunday, says it sounds like the tithing pack. Got to pay those tithes.
Yeah.
To Gabe. That's right. Let's see. How do we not know what packs come to Xbox? Calm down. It says exclusive.
Well, and I still shouldn't have to pay for it.
Steam. Exclusive means exclusive. You don't know Steam.
It says exclusive to Founders Pack. So what makes you think they might not have a Founders Pack?
So you're telling me that on this free-to-play game, Frank is going to have the option to spend $25 as well?
They might. They might.
You're telling me that Frank is going to be running around with his red suits?
Console gamer money is just as good as PC gamer money. You know what I mean?
Shh. You don't say that out loud. Phil Spencer might hear you. You're telling me that Frank could pay $50 and get these costumes?
I mean, if he really wants them that bad.
I don't want them that bad.
I mean, I guess it depends on how impulsive you are. If you really want an outfit that you're going to wear, and then you're immediately going to get a new outfit that looks cooler, and then you're going to change.
Yeah. That's the problem.
I mean?
If it was like a couple bucks, that's fine. But $45 is kind of nuts.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The game complainers. The Series X console is still in early access. I got a cosmetic brick. Thanks, Phil. Wow. Oh my god. I'm an Axel Xbox Tiers 1324 gaming. Wow. Let's see. Web Dave says, great show. Getting out the popcorn. Absolutely. Get your popcorn ready. Shout out to Hans Castillo. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, it's very confusing. The game is free to play when it officially launches. Yes, absolutely.
Here's an interesting question, too, that I just thought of. Well, now, will it be free completely on Xbox, or do you have to have Game Pass? Because that would be something else, too. Imagine that.
It says on the official thing here. Hold on. Let me scroll. Xbox game preview following and a free-to-play launch plan for 2025. Online mode not included. Comes with a $9.99 or a $15.99 subscription.
That's true. Yeah, you still need to pay for that. But yeah.
I don't know what you're paying.
So I guess you don't even need Game Pass for this one. That's interesting. Okay.
Which is cool.
Unless Game Pass gives you early access, like you guys get it like 3 days early.
Yeah. I don't know if you can you restrict game preview to Game Pass? Maybe you can, because as far as I know, is Pal World is in early in a game preview. Do you need Game Pass for Pal World? As a Game Pass subscriber, I know I don't have to worry about that, but I'm just curious.
I don't know if you can buy. I'm actually not sure if you can just buy Pal World. Let me see if it's on there.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That is a good point.
Yeah,
Legendary Yobi says, "Cool Cat Terry, right there with you. I'll be there when it comes to console. Absolutely." Let's see. Web Dave, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being supportive. He says everyone needs to sub to this show. Yes, please do. I'm trying to get to 500. Yes. And thank you for acknowledging me. Yeah. I only acknowledge the tribal chief, the OTC. Yes. Let's see. Did you find out, Frank?
Yeah, you can buy it. It's $29.99.
$29.99. So if you don't have Game Pass, you gotta buy it.
Yeah, and it says game preview or whatever. Or what did it just say? I already closed.
Yeah,
it.
Xbox game preview.
Yeah, game preview. It says in parentheses.
Okay,
but there is a free trial if you're interested.
I'm good. I have Power World it up as much as I'm gonna Power World it up for now.
Yeah,
until the game fully releases, then I'll Power World again. So yeah. All right, let's move the show right along here. On to our next topic, which shout out to the IO Lords. They did an interview with Obsidian, one of Frank's most anticipated games here. So this is a clip from Twitter. So I'm gonna play this clip from Twitter, and we're gonna talk about it because I know Terry's gonna have strong opinions. Here we go.
You could talk about this part right now, but I was curious about console performance, specifically the Series X. Can we talk frame rates at this time, or we're waiting a little?
Well, I'm
not yet.
Probably not the best person to. Oh, sorry, talking off mic. I'm probably not the best person to talk about that. We can probably. We can probably.
Yeah, I mean, nitty gritty of it. Performance is one of the last things we figure out, right? We are core, and I think we've announced this elsewhere. We are core targeting 30 frames per second bare minimum. Like that's the expectation. It's a first-person single-player game. You don't necessarily need that 60 frames, and that allows us to get a lot juicier with VFX and lighting and all this other stuff. So it's a trade-off we opted to make relatively early, and we're really happy with that. I mean, the game's running pretty smooth for how visually dense it is, and that was always our goal. But as far as like a greater understanding of performance spec, we're still figuring all that out. It's one of the last things you do. So yeah.
Fair enough. Appreciate that. Maddie, any other follow-up?
All right, so that is the what caused some outreach here. So this again, and this is from Windows Central here. So shout out to the Iron Lords. Thank you so much for that clip. They said Obsidian RPG Avowed seemingly runs at 30 FPS on Xbox Series X and S. And Capcom has the same issue. So, Avowed, the upcoming role-playing game from Xbox Game Studios. So, speaking with the Iron Lord podcast, let me just get to it. Here we go. Matt Hansen said Xbox users could expect a bare minimum of 30 FPS. Say, it's a first-person single-player game. You don't necessarily need 60 frames. What? On a first-person game? All right, so, continuing the 30 frames per second trend on the Xbox Series X. I believe this will be the fourth game to launch now with 30 FPS. Redfall, Starfield, Hellblade 2, and now Avowed. The 30 FPS is standard on the Xbox, as they can't seem to understand or listen to us that we want 60. And again, don't give me that crap of like, oh, we got to get a lot juicier. They said the same crap for Starfield. Starfield is running at 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S. Okay, so don't give me that crap. But at least they said a little bit of honesty there. They said optimization is the last thing we do. So, obviously, 60 FPS is last on their mind when they're doing stuff. So, fourth game to launch into the 30 FPS realm in the console that Aaron Greenberg said was going to be standard 60 frames per second. You remember that? Anybody remember that? Terry, you remember that? That Aaron Greenberg said 30 FPS standard?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 60 FPS standard? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, what's it doing? Okay. Yeah, I do believe it was Aaron Greenberg who said that that the standard on the consoles were going to be 60 frames per second. And again, okay, so first-person shooters, I think need the 60 FPS more than anything. But that's just me. What do I know? I've only been playing first-person shooters since I was little with good vision. Look what happened. Look what 30 FPS did to my vision, everybody. Look at it. Okay. So going on to a fellow 30 FPS guy who is a victim of the 30 FPS prescription here. Frank, talk to us. What do you think?
Oh, I don't like this at all. I appreciate higher frame rate. I think that in this generation, we should be having that. We paid $500 for these consoles. Give me the choice. If you want to do all this crazy VFX, that's fine. Put a performance mode in for me. They do it all the time. There's no reason why they can't. Like we said, Starfield, they said, oh, it's a creative choice. It's this, it's that. And then a few months later, they offer us the option. Even the Series S, the modders did it first, and then they put it in. So it makes me think that maybe they're just not optimizing as well as they could.
You're right. The modders did do it first. You're right.
They did. And that's kind of where, like, I keep hearing this and I keep hearing people make excuses like for it. And I'm just like, but every single time they end up giving it to us anyway. So, and I don't want to sit down and play Avowed and experience it for the first time and not have it be the way I want it to be if it's available somewhere else. So I'm probably going to have to play this on PC because I don't want to wait 6 months. I waited for it to come out this long. They said they delayed it due to a lot of games coming out. Now I'm thinking maybe they delayed it because it's not ready, which is fine. You could do that. But I just wish we had the option. Let me play in 1080p 60. I know the machine can do it. I know the Series X can do it. So let us have an option. It's not very complicated. I mean, I don't think it is. I'm not a developer. I don't know how much more effort it would take to just lower the settings. But I don't know. This really rubbed me the wrong way because I'm really looking forward to Avowed. And it's just another one on the list of games that is going to be running at 30. And I don't know. I just don't feel like it's fair to us that paid all this money for these. But
yeah. I posted this sarcastically. I think maybe my sarcasm got taken literally. But I put down that I'm not buying a $500 console next generation. Neither is Frank. $1,000 on a PC and be the best gamer ever.
Well, you could get away with a decent PC for, it's going to be double the console. It's going to be, $1,200, $1,500 probably. But it does a lot more and it lasts a lot longer too. I'm not like advocating for PC here. Obviously, I love console. I have all the consoles, but it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility by the time I have two Xboxes, so that already almost would have paid for a PC if you think about it,
Yeah.
So
I love that meme. I'm sorry, but
that is funny though, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't have like $20,000 for a PC." It's like, well, you don't need to.
No, you don't need to. But and I also part of the sarcasm was the be the best. I didn't say be the best, experience the best games or anything. I said be the best gamer.
Yeah,
playing on PC makes you better.
Well, frames win games.
Maybe all the
right?
sarcasm went through other people's heads, but I meant it as 100% sarcasm. But yeah. So again, here I found it. Aaron Greenberg, 60 FPS will be the standard output, but the architecture allows us up to support 120 FPS. So 30 FPS, boom, 30. You don't need 60. What, Terry? You don't need 60 FPS.
Okay, so this is literally not that complicated. They said 60 is standard, and then they're saying 30 is minimum. So what's the problem? What's the problem? They have a standard they have their standard frame rate, and then there's going to be a minimum that they are going to accept. All right.
I'm gonna car this up for you.
What's the issue here? Having a standard and having a minimum.
I'm gonna car this up for you, Terry. 4 wheels is the standard. 3 wheels is the minimum, though.
Yeah. So.
When you still drive your 3-wheel car.
So.
Yeah, but if you go buy a Ferrari and it's only got 3 wheels, you're kind of like, man, where's my other wheel?
Oh no, you're not buying no Ferrari for $500, man. We're talking about a 4-wheel Pinto. Pinto, okay?
I'm just saying, and yet you own a 4-wheeled car. I don't see you owning a dually. You own a dually? Why don't you have a dually? Okay, it has 6 wheels. It's superior to your 4-wheeled basic traffic car. Come on, man.
Spend $20,000 and get a dually.
You're using standard. You got the standard 4-wheel vehicle, man. Why not have a dually? See how stupid that sounds? That's how this sounds, man. There's a standard, and then you have and then you have a minimum, and then you even have stuff that goes above standard at 120. What's the argument here, man? What's the argument?
The argument is first party
There's
needs
no
to be better.
No, there's no argument. You have a minimum of standard, and then you have people that are above standard with their 120. Come on, get out of here.
I don't remember Phil or anyone when they were selling me this Xbox telling me, nobody said minimum 30. Nobody said minimum 30. They said 60, right, Frank?
They did, and
nobody ever said 30. Did anybody
30
say
was
30?
last gen. I mean, that's the
them
thing.
even saying the number 30.
No,
when they advertised this,
they were saying 60 during the last gen, and they couldn't even pull it off then. So, come on.
You
guys got to give the 1X. You got to get the 1X because we're going to give you 60 FPS. But guess what? All of our games are going to be 30 because we got to make sure they work for the people who don't have the X. Come on, dude.
Well,
they literally did that. They literally did that
Series
last
S
gen.
for this.
They literally did this last gen where they were like, it's called marketing. People like bigger numbers. The people spend more money. Come on.
Yeah, and that's my point. They set this expectation, not me.
No, right? Gamers are setting this expectation because gamers.
I'm not the one who said.
No. Gamers are the ones setting this expectation because every time the TV company decides, hey, we got a new TV out that has this kind of frame rate, then gamers think, hey, you guys got to make games that can maximize my TV. And it's not practical at all, dude. It's not practical.
Aaron Greenberg said this, not at Axel.
Yeah, and he said standard. Okay, he didn't say that it was going to be 100% every game coming out is going to be 60. He didn't say that. He said standard because you can have a standard, which is your average, and then you have a minimum, and then you can exceed the average, dude. It happens in everything in existence. You know, that's why it's average because there's things that are above average and things that are below average. Standard is just another fancy word for average. It's not guaranteed.
It's not, but
it did lead me to believe
it's not
that
average anymore, Terry.
It is average.
The last 4 launch titles have been 30. That's not averaging. That's 30 has become the standard now.
No, because if you start looking at all the other games that are like your first-person shooters and stuff.
No. I'm talking about Xbox. I'm talking about Xbox launch titles.
Yes, but what is Xbox launching? Xbox is launching for the most part. When you're looking at if you just want to look at exclusive games, for the most part, what are they? They're always single-player, narrative-driven style games. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. An exclusive game is going to be a single-player, narrative-driven game. Okay, so the lower frame rate makes sense because in a narrative-driven game, you want to have more time to render the frame so you can get better details. People like bragging about, oh, look how pretty and realistic my game looks. You're not going to get that at 60. You're not giving it time to render the stuff.
No.
But then how come they can do it later? Like, look at Starfield. It's like
the last couple of you know what? Let me look at Xbox first party launch games. I'm going to pull up a list.
Because look at Starfield. It got delayed how many times and people were crying?
But they said it was a creative decision to make it 30, and then all of a sudden,
creatively, when you talk to developers, creatively, games just work better. And when you're making a single player narrative experience game, they perform better at 30 than they do 60. Gamers want 60 because the number sounds pretty.
I mean,
it
does make a big difference.
Look at your first-person shooters that have the high frame rate. What are they? They're blurred the f out. Why? Because you're not you
motion blur, baby.
You want fast reaction time. When you're playing a story-driven game, you want to be able to see the details of the environment and get immersed in it. You're not getting immersed in it if you're doing this the whole freaking time, constantly scrolling left and right, left and right, left and right. You're not going to see no detail. That's the difference. It's a different way of playing. You want to see details in your single player game so you can get immersed. You're not going to get immersed in Call of Duty when it comes to the environments.
Well, I mean, we should have that.
If I'm looking at pictures, it's one thing. I'm moving.
You
want to have more render time. And you're not going to, and the faster the frame rate, the lower the render time is. You're not going to be able to get those details. So then what happens? Then you got people over here, scrolling in on the picture, looking at the pixels and all this other nonsense about look how crappy quality this game looks. The graphics are trash. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen when you don't have the render time.
Well, I don't have a problem with the resolution. Like I don't like that when they scroll and they're like, look at the pic. But I'm saying like the frame rate does make a big difference in gameplay to me. I mean, it's not for everybody. I understand that, but you know, I just like the option. It's like if they could do it, why not just do it? We don't have to tick that option on if you don't want to.
And I'm confident. And I'm confident when people are booting up a game and they're playing it, they're not thinking about, man, I wish I had more frame rate. People are enjoying the game. They're playing the game. You're not thinking about frame rate in that moment, are you? How many times did you boot up Starfield, Axel? Man, this game, you know, is trash because the frame rate could be better. I bet you never once had that
played
thought.
Starfield on 30 on this TV back here, and then at 60, actually post 60, almost 120 frames on my PC. And let me tell you, it ran way smoother on my PC. And I told you this.
Your loading times will be improved with the higher frame rate, but when you look at the actual graphical detail and being able to render your environments, it's going to look prettier in 30.
And I told you this when I said that. I thought it looked prettier on my Xbox than it did on my PC, but it ran way smoother on my PC. And I have always been a guy that has been gameplay is king.
Yes.
And
so, but
60 FPS is the minimum for gameplay to be considered king.
Again, this whole conversation is subjective because there's always going to be someone, you know, who's going to want one over the other. It's personal preference. But in the end, if you're just looking at the hard facts of it, if you want the prettiest looking game, the lower frame rate gives better rendering. It does. So you can't have it both ways. And that's the way gamers are. They think they can have everything under the sun. It doesn't work that way. If you want this thing, you might have to sacrifice this thing. You can't have it all.
Says who?
Gamers think that they can have it all.
Everything.
Tell that to my $20,000 PC.
So, Hellblade launched at 30. That was the last game. All right. Before that, let's see. Looking at Xbox Series, Age of Empires 2. I think that one launched at 60. Okay, so right now we're 1-1. Let's see. Killing Instinct Anniversary Edition. I don't really think that's a launch. That's just an update. Forza launched at 60. Forza Motorsport launched at 60.
It had option. It had a performance mode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could bring that thing down to 30, but who does that in a racing game?
But see, that's a game that's gorgeous. It has all the stuff, and then you can choose, and it still looks good in 60. So it depends, you know, like, I don't know.
Age of Empires 4 launched at... I don't know what Age of Empires 4 launched at. If anybody knows, let me know. Minecraft Legends, again, don't know what that one launched at, but I can tell you right now, it played like it was at 30. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Let me see what other first-party games launched. Pentiment launched at like 10 frames per second, as you didn't do much moving in that game. Grounded launched at 30. As Dusk Falls, that wasn't first party. Halo Infinite launched at 60. Yeah, so I mean they're all over the place. Okay, so we got an average of 45. So we got a launch average of 45. But again, and this goes back to me, right? If you have to show off what your console is capable of, because if you don't do it, don't expect other people to do it for you. If you can't get the most out of the world's most powerful console, then why should third party try to get the most out of the world's most powerful console? You got to show them, right? And to me, launching games at 30 over and over and over again is just, it's not a good look. You know, a lot of people say that Horizon Zero Dawn is one of the best. Horizon Forbidden West is one of the best looking games of all time, and it launched at 60. Every PlayStation first party game has launched at 60.
There's way prettier games than that game, let me tell you.
No, I agree with you. I'm just telling you what they said.
Yeah, of course they're going to say that.
I'm reporting the news, Terry.
Look, it's just like when you think of a lot of these first person games, you tend to only press one button. All right. You tend to just press one button over and over and repeatedly. So it's like you don't really need a lot of anything else. You just want to be able to render the game so that way it looks really good. So you don't need fast button inputs or any of that stuff because you're not doing PvP. You don't need that. So if all you're doing is going around pressing A all the time because you're swinging a sword and you're pressing A. Oh, I'm gonna open a chest. Now I might press X. You don't need high button input. You're not doing very much.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to say anything against games that are that simple because I play a lot of Vampire Survivors and it's just moving the joystick around and hit a lot. So
most exclusive games are that simple. They really are. God of War was that simple. You just smash one button on repeat.
God of War was not that simple.
It was.
Anyways, I think 60 should be the bare minimum because that's what I believe I was sold on. Because that's what was advertised. Nobody ever said the number 30 during the advertisements. And also, this is first party. I don't understand why Xbox has been criticized for doing 30 frames per second in the past by not just me, right? But they've been criticized by major media outlets for doing 30. You would think they would learn to make 60 the standard. I mean, like, back in my Sega Genesis days, I was playing at 60. And then the 3D era came around and I was playing at 20. Okay. And now it's up to 30. And in 20 years, we haven't been able to get up to 60 as the standard. That's a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of crap for the gaming industry as a whole. Right. Because I know that one of the games I'm looking forward to a lot, Assassin's Creed, is going to launch at 30. I absolutely know it. There's no way that game launches at 60. And if it does launch at 60, then there's no reason why this game shouldn't have launched at 60. And of course, if it does launch at 60, it's because Ubisoft is amazing. Seriously, guys, don't sleep on Ubisoft. Just saying. So, yeah, I have an issue with it launching at 30. Am I still going to play it at 30? Sure, I am. But then when the patch for 60 comes out, am I going to play it again? No. First impression, over with. Just saying. The only reason I'm even going to play Starfield at 60 is because of Shattered Space. So if there's no Avowed, I don't know, Thou Shall Not Pass DLC that's available for free, I'm not going to play it again. Just throwing it out there. Am I wrong in that? Like, I don't know. People might launch it to see what it would have looked like at 60, but nobody's going to play it 100% again, especially a first-player narrative-driven game. Just because it went to 60. They're missing that first impression opportunity to make the best impression possible, in my opinion. And I can't be the only one that thinks this way.
Look, based on the way he's wording his conversation, it could be very much like what was said about how you want the option, right? You might still be getting the option. They might have a performance and quality mode option.
Nothing has been ruled out. You're right. Nowhere in there did he rule out. He said bare minimum.
They're just saying the bare minimum would be 30, which would be your quality mode, which is what I would play on as quality. I always play my single player games on quality. So, I mean, that's literally could be all they're talking about. And people are seeing certain little buzzwords and they're running off of it. So people literally could be arguing over nothing. You might literally get your option because most games these days tend to have a performance or quality option.
I wish they would just get rid of that performance and quality and just straight up give performance.
Not everybody wants performance, though.
Yeah.
You can't see that goes to you want people to have the option, but now you're trying to take their option away, man.
What option?
Which way is it?
Nobody's gonna pick less frames.
I mean, yes, they do. I do all the time. Like literally all my games I primarily play are story-driven, like action games, and I always take quality mode, and I always turn motion blur off because
motion blur has to be turned off 100%.
I want to experience the environment.
Yeah, I played Forza Horizon at 30. I never crashed after playing 60. I never crashed so much in my life. Like the delay was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. To me, 30 needs to become thing of the past. 60 bare minimum. I'm just saying, you know, if my Sega Genesis with its amazing blast processing could do 60. Surely my Xbox Series console can do 60. And obviously it can because they uploaded all these 60 FPS modes to Starfield. By the way, the 60 FPS mode on console looks better than the 60 FPS mode on PC. Just saying. Looks better because it's rendering better, right? A lot less variables to optimize for. So yeah. Frank, you were saying how much you love 60 frames.
I do love 60 frames. So I hope it launches with a mode. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sit there and play this for 40 hours and not play it in 60 frames if I can help it.
Absolutely. Yes. Terry, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a random question. You have a blender and make smoothies, right?
Yeah.
Well, what setting do you put it on? What button do you push to make smoothies?
It depends on the blender. First off,
The one in your house.
the one in my house, probably like medium.
Oh no!
Medium.
I need you to push the bare minimum button.
No. So I hit me. I'll kind of put it in the medium. It depends on what I'm doing when I have in it first. Because some items I put it on low first because you have to kind of crush some things up first. So it would be the bare minimum first, and you add more to it, and then you can slowly increase it, which would be no different than making a game and giving you what you can, and then they slowly make things better. It's no different. Like, what do you get?
There you go. They're making a Terry smoothie.
You know.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in there. All right. Let's see. Let's check in with the chat real quick. See how they feel. Before we check in with the chat, though, Terry, we had a poll.
I never saw it, and I did. I'm kidding. All right. What FPS should Xbox first-party games launch at? 73% said 60, 21% said 30, and 5% 120. Look at that. Nobody wants the highest. How about that? People are happy with average.
Average 60. 73% is not average, but okay.
No, they want average. 60 would be average out of those options.
60
so
is
the majority
median.
wants average.
Yeah. Let's so 60. This game should be at 60. The chat has decided. Speaking of the chat, let me go up. Hold on. Let me go to where the chat. Wow, the chat's really been scrolling. Shout out to the chat. You guys are awesome.
Everyone's fired up about that.
Yeah, everybody's fired up about 60 frames. Look at that.
Yeah.
They're typing at 60 words per minute right now. Let's see. Right, where the camera rotation matters most. First-person shooters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
4K 120 printed on the box, bro. Is it? I thought it said is it?
Yeah, I think so.
4K. You're right. 4K. Yeah. Shout out to She's Mine Kind of Crazy. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. The average gamer does not care about 30 FPS, which is 90% of the gamers. All they want is to play. So basically, who cares, man?
Yep, I agree.
It's these hardcore gamers who cry about it.
Well, if that's the case, then why not stay on Super Nintendo then? It's like, well, because we want new stuff. Like,
you know can get new stuff. Like, someone,
we want the latest and greatest.
Scott Free recently brought up Nintendo. Nintendo, sells their games like mad, and what are those games? 30 frames. So
yeah,
it's like
but Nintendo never promised me 60, did they?
I think they did at one point.
No, I've never.
I don't recall that. I'm a Nintendo. I'm the Nintendo guy here, Terry.
They don't even ever comment on like any technical stuff. Nintendo. They never mention it.
They focus on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's Xbox.
At the very beginning of this episode today, you said that you're about gameplay first. When we talked about Starfield, you said you're about the gameplay.
I am.
So then if you're focused on gameplay
is way better at 60.
This argument is positively towards Nintendo staying at 30 because they're all about gameplay, and you said you're a gameplay first. So this is you wanting to have everything. You can't have everything, man.
I want it all.
You can't have it both ways.
I want 60 frames per second, and I want it now. Somebody call JG Wentworth to get my 60 frames. Let's see. Cool Cat Terry, happy to teach gaming comprehension again. She wins this round of Xbox presidential debate. But some people are on my side on this one. Exactly, Axel. Dan the Man Cunningham posted a plus something, but I have no idea what this is alluding to. Do you know?
I don't recall what part of the conversation that was at. So I don't remember.
I'm sorry, Dan the Man Cunningham. I have no idea. Let's see. I thought that was only the hardcore, the 10% asking for 60 FPS. Yeah. Fastback said up to 120 FPS. Hello. Let's see. Dan the Man Cunningham says, right here at 9:04. Okay, so he's posting timestamp. Okay. When the head of Xbox marketing says that all Xbox games going forward will be a standard 60 FPS, that is false advertising. Somebody take them to court. Somebody take them to court.
Yeah, where's the FTC now, right?
Where's my class action lawsuit where I'm going to get $2 in 10 years? Let's see. D. I'd hope standard AM/FM radio in the car was guaranteed. Let's see. Mustang V6 and Mustang GT can hit 100 miles per hour standard, but yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So DE understands the FPS problem. During combat, you are moving the camera around as fast as you can. That's right, Terry. When you're playing Avowed during combat, I just want you to hit one button. Don't even look around.
When you're playing games like that, you don't need to be on a swivel. You don't.
Wait, when you're playing Avowed, I don't want to see any movement.
You literally
have just hit one button at a time. I want you to play this with one finger, one hand.
With games like that, you don't need to have the constant camera moving because you have area of effect. You're blasting everybody around you all the dang time. You don't have to worry about it.
Hold on, is there a trailer on this thing? There isn't. All right, so let's see. It's nice to have photo mode in 60 FPS mode. You know, I know some people are huge photo mode people. I'm not, as I've never been so good at it, but I do love seeing pictures that people take on photo mode. Some people are have that eye for photography. I do not.
Yeah. I have no patience for photo mode. I'm playing a game because I want to play a game, not take pictures. You know?
I would love I load up photo mode. Like I loaded it up so much on Hellblade because it's like the best looking game ever made. And I could get like a really good shot of anything. I'm like, how do these people do it? How do they get these like awe-inspiring photos? And I'm just over here like, you know, it's like with that weird smile on the camera. You're always...
Yeah, those people those people are probably photographers in real life, so they know how to play with all the different settings. They understand the science behind all of that nonsense, the lighting,
they understand
and
angles and all that stuff.
They're probably photographers showing you what can be done.
Right. All right, Happy Cloud Gamers on Team Terry. He says, somebody horrible 60 FPS performance mode out there. Jedi Survivor. I'll take stable at 30 FPS. Sometimes devs need to stop and shift the game. Now games cost and send money. I don't care about cost. I'm a consumer, man. I don't care about deliver. I don't care about how much a game costs.
Get out of here. You don't care about cost, dude. There have been plenty of conversations had about you complaining about them raising game prices. Get out of here. Yeah,
that's me as a consumer. What I pay, I don't care how much it costs them. I care how much it costs me.
And let them ship the game.
What it costs them is going to affect what it costs you.
Let them ship the game with less features, and in 3 months I'll buy it for half price with all my features. How about that? I'll let them win. I mean, come on, like
win.
It's true.
But you're not going to do that because most gamers are impulsive.
I know that's true.
That's why people spend more money. People will go, instead of waiting 3 days to get the base game, they will go and spend an extra $100 to play 3 days early because they're impulsive. $100 to play 3 days early is what people do. So get out of here with that nonsense. No, they're not waiting. They're spending more money just to play 3 days early, which is ridiculous to me.
Hard facts. I did that with Starfield. I spent $300 on that collector's edition. Now, I didn't play. To me, everything else was an edition. I wanted the collector's edition. I love the items, right? So yeah. So yes. Let's see. Here we go. Fastback, because they said optimization is done at the end, and if you want the best version at launch, 30 makes sense. And once the game is out, to capture date and do fixes needed, that 60 FPS is easier to do.
That's fine, but again, I'll just wait. You know, that's
wait
the
it
thing.
out.
It's like you got it.
But with Game Pass, you don't need to wait it out. 30 FPS it is, Frank. 30 FPS it is.
You're gonna play it at 30. You're gonna have fun, and that's gonna be that. You're gonna enjoy
I'll play it on Game Pass on PC or something if I have to. I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past them right now to do like $25 tier for Game Pass, and every game is 60 FPS on this tier. Like
my gosh,
I can 100% see them doing that.
Don't give them ideas, please.
Yes, let's see. It'll be funny when GTA is 30 FPS on every console and it gets a pass. It's not going to get a pass, bro.
It just won't be available on PC. So people have no choice.
For me, 30 sucks. I still think it's 30. And I could say this, that I don't care for GTA 6.
First off, I could see GTA 6 being 30 for the reason that game is going to have to render so much stuff that it's going to make sense that's going to be a 30 frame game. You know, especially when you start getting your notoriety up, your wanted level up, and everything keeps coming. No, that's a lot of rendering, man. Yeah, it's gonna be 30. It's gonna be 30.
Yeah, GTA is going to come in at 30 and stay at 30 for the next 10 years. Just saying.
And then they'll re-release
Frank.
the game in 10 years, like the anniversary collection or some nonsense, and they'll make you pay full price, which is for the upgrade.
Yeah. The game complaint is, but an input is improved at 60 FPS. Agreed. Improves gameplay, which is king. She's my kind of crazy says, I didn't get robbed on my Series X. I absolutely enjoy it. Oh, I love my Series X. I'm just saying that first party needs to be 60.
Debatable.
Oh, DE is talking some real technical photo terms here. I don't know what's going on. If I want pretty, give me photo mode. You can have 50 millisecond frame rate, 66 millisecond frame time. You can have it all when they give you photo mode in 30, 40, 60 modes. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Scott Free. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. I think people should get a choice of what they want, 30 or 60. Yeah. Let's see. But Cool Cat Theory, they paid $500 for a console. Maybe next time pay $500 to $600 for a PC and see how that works.
Well, see, here's the thing with that. Yeah. Even you could lower that a $500, $600 PC. I guarantee you, well, not guarantee, but you can lower those games down to get whatever frame rate you want. Maybe not 120 frames.
Sliders, baby.
You're still going to be able to have the option on a cheaper PC than you would.
None of that matters because there are a plethora. And I mean a plethora of PC gamers who spend thousands on their rigs and they play Stardew Valley. So who cares?
That is true. I mean, I play like older games on my PC too. It depends.
I'm actually ready to upgrade my PC to a 4060 or a 4090.
Like I just saw an influencer. She upgraded her rig. She upgraded her rig again, and she only does Stardew. And she likes to always upgrade her rig for all the new things because elite gamers want the newest hardware, even though they're not using it.
You know what? If I ever do streaming, like, oh, let me upgrade my PC. I just upgraded. Let's play some games. I'm gonna play nothing but like 8-bit. I'm gonna download games from the 90s. 8-bit
emulate
Doom.
Atari games.
I mean, I'm gonna be playing what is that Missile Command or something like that. Be like, oh my god, this is amazing.
On your 4090,
I'm getting 800 frames per second, guys.
Or you got your gamers who want the newest console, but they're still playing the same old games they did before, like Minecraft and Roblox. Like you don't need better hardware to play those games. They're gonna perform the same for the most part.
Right.
So it's like, again, it's people will. Just because you have better hardware doesn't mean you're going to utilize it. So Absolutely. To sit here and demand a dev to fully utilize hardware is ridiculous because you choose not to fully utilize it yourself based on what you're playing.
Testify. Yes. Except on my Series X, I use all the hardware. So let's see. I don't like the pretty argument. I'm not stopping to look and smell the roses mid-combat. Agreed. Testify, DE. Testify.
I mean, you kind of are if you're talking about photo mode. That means you're literally stopping your gameplay to snap a dang picture. So you're kind of, being a little redundant and hypocritical.
I never to stop photo mode, but I tried on Hellblade 2 to initiate photo mode in mid-combat to try to get a cool combat photo. I couldn't do it. Like either A, I would forget to do it, or B, when I did do it, it was always after the cool part.
You missed it. But I hate using photo mode, but don't most of them have like a rewind so you can try to kind of capture that moment?
I have no idea. If it did have it, I didn't find it. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says, God of War gameplay was basic at best. Only great thing about it were the story visuals and cutscenes. Production quality was top tier. Gameplay 4 out of 10. Man, I disagree, sir, but everybody's entitled. Let's see to their opinion.
All you gotta do is hit the A button to keep ducking and rolling, and then you gotta hit the trigger button. That's it. That's all you do. It's all you gotta do.
But Terry, it was an adaptive trigger.
Adaptive trigger. Look, you're gonna. No, it wasn't the trigger with the bumper. I think it wasn't the bumper. You pretty much just rolled around and you threw your axe at people. That's it.
All right, Terry's gonna play Gears of War 6 at 30, according to this. I guess Gears 5 at 60 was a bad thing, Terry.
60. I would argue 60 would be good for the multiplayer portion of Gears. You would want 60 for the PvP stuff, but when it comes to the campaign, 30 would be fine.
There you go.
Which has been my whole argument. If you're doing PvP stuff, then yeah, frame rate comes into play there. But single player experiences, you don't need it.
Fastback also needs to change the name of this podcast to Good Morning Xbox. Phil Spencer pissed in my Cheerios, I think is what he meant to type there. All right, I'm going to skip a couple of chats, guys. Sorry. Let's see. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Sorry, you guys are chatting up a lot, but we got to get through the show. Let's see. No, I did not play the DF Doom 1 and 2 remaster. I have no time for games like that. I already played them a lot when I was younger. No need to play them again. Let's see. Pay per frame. Yeah.
No.
That's gonna be. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be $1 per frame Game Pass tiers. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anyone important here. Yeah. I feel that Terry is well trained on this, but Xbox has trained us to wait. Yeah, I feel that too. The good stuff comes like a year later. And I don't think it should. As I said, this is just first party criticism of games now. I do understand that some games won't be able to do 60 because they're so intense, but I want it to be the same across the board again, quote unquote, the platform, right? The part with Starfield is like, oh, Starfield can't do 60, but it's doing 60. It's like, oh, we wanted to do 30 frames because of artistic vision or whatever the heck the words Todd Howard used. But on PC it was 60, and it's like, what about the artistic vision? Right? And so I feel that this is maybe a better way of saying it. That's they're addressing the console specifically, and they're saying a bare minimum of 30. They haven't ruled anything out, as Terry said. Who knows what will be there when it launches? Do I think it's a big deal at 30? Am I still going to play it at 30? Yeah, I probably am. I mean, I'm not going to wait till the 60 patch comes out because it may never come out. I might be waiting for 10 years, and I'm not going to wait for that. So I'll play Avowed at 30, pressing one button at a time because that's the way you play Avowed. But I'm going to enjoy it, right? I'm not going to say anything against, like, oh my God, this game would be so much better at 60 the whole time I'm playing it. I'm obviously not going to say that. I'm going to enjoy it while I play it for what it is, but make no mistake, games run better at 60. And I do believe still in my heart of hearts that Xbox needs to make a first-party executive decision, that if you're making an Xbox game, it must run at 60 on the console, on the top-tier console, the Series X, right? I understand that some people are Series S gamers and that it's not fair to them, but, you advertised the world's most powerful console. And again, this goes back to, treat us console players right. Treat us right, man. Treat us right. Give us 60 frames. And turn on the blast processing on the Series X.
Look, I would rather they just release good quality games. I don't care about frame rate. Give us good quality games. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think Avowed is going to be a high quality game. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay, so there's just a manifesto, and again, they haven't ruled anything out. So this whole conversation it should be bare minimum of 60. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not gonna sit here and be a frame snob and be like, if it's not at 60, I'm not playing it. No, no, that's not what I'm gonna be. So, anything else? Anybody on the topic before we move along?
I don't think we pretty much covered this.
All right, we're gonna move it along then. Shout out to Xbox Gamer. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says we're going to talk about 30/60 FPS all gen, aren't we? Digital Foundry has trained us well. They have trained us well. Just saying.
Look, this is going to be the conversation for every generation. And then when they finally get rid of 30, the conversation will be 60 versus 120.
That's right, as it should be. As it should be. We need to move forward. Yeah.
They will learn nothing from they'll learn nothing. They'll just keep perpetuating the same grievances.
Yeah. The thing about frames, you remember, like, I remember playing Mega Man on my NES, and it would slow down. You remember there was a lot of slowdown on old
were there moments
they didn't call it frame rate back then, they called it slow down.
You kind of like froze in midair when you were jumping, didn't you, at some point?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes it was like a slideshow. It would like
yeah. And it's so funny, they didn't call it frames back then, they called it slow down. I remember that. Yeah. Let's see. I suspect the gameplay will be compelling enough to overlook the 60 FPS. From Dan the Man Cunningham. Absolutely 100% correct. Yes, I agree with you. Frank?
I mean, sure. It's still going to be a good game.
Gameplay is king. Just say gameplay is better at 60.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't play the game at all if you can only play it at 30. Like, if you're playing it and you're enjoying it, who cares? You're not me. I'm not, like, you don't have to see it through my vision or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy the game. It looks like a good game. So,
yeah. Fastback said Gears 5 campaign open world would have had more in it if in 30 FPS and better optimized for co-op, in my opinion. Oh man, I love Gears 5. I have no. That was my game of the year that year, so I played it so much. Legendary Yobi says, as long as it's a good game, all I care about, I wouldn't give a dang if the game was running at 40 FPS. I mean, it's more than 30. Dad the Man Cutting on to bad news. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's what made the news cycle this week. I apologize. Let's see. Back from the dead. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real living pieces. If you're that concerned about frames, buy a PC. Nothing new that Microsoft steps on marketing rakes repeatedly. They do. They do step on marketing rakes repeatedly. Yeah. Yeah. DE, yeah, Zelda would slow down when you entered a room in the original Zelda. Yeah, it would load it. Yeah, I remember. Remember, even the music would slow down. That's right. Music used to be tied to frames. Yeah, that's the way they operated back in the day. All right. So if you remember last week, Terry, I said something. You weren't here. I don't think you were. No. But I said something last week, very specific.
Okay.
Right? We were talking about Indiana Jones and the rumor that Indiana Jones might come to PS5. Last week is a rumor. And that it was going to be announced at Gamescom. And I said, if they announce Indiana Jones coming to PS5, I think it's a mistake. Not because it's going to PS5, but because of where they're choosing to do the announcement. It's going to overshadow everything else. It's going to put a black shadow over everything. Nobody's going to talk about the games that they actually talk about. All they're going to talk about is Indiana Jones. And guess what happened, Terry? Guess. Here, hold on. In case you missed it, Terry, I got a clip for you, Terry. I got a clip for you. Let me
roll that footage.
Roll that footage.
Doesn't that look great? A world of mystery to explore. But you're probably wondering when the game comes out, right?
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was 100% wondering.
I like the background for the stage. It looks nice.
It looks awesome.
Are those all screens?
December 9th, 2024. Woo!
There you have it. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming out this December for Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. But there is one more thing that Machine Games and Bethesda
one more thing. What is it? What is it, Terry? What could it be? I'm so excited.
Insert it. You can just insert it in there.
Spring 2025? PS5.
In spring of
it's a timed exclusive then. I don't get what people are mad. It's a timed exclusive.
I don't care.
It's a timed exclusive.
I have been very careful on this. I don't care about this game. Exclusive or not exclusive, I don't care, right? All I care about was the choosing of the announcement and how it overshadowed everything. That's my problem with it. Right? So I 100% predicted it. The articles were written, right? Indiana Jones and the Great Circle gets a release date on Xbox Series X and PC, and it's also coming to PS5. It put a black stain on Twitter that day. Oh man, it was tough to be an Xbox fan that day because even if you didn't talk about Indiana Jones, they threw it in your face, right?
I don't see how this is a black stain. It's a timed exclusive. Like if the role was reversed, everybody would be crying about how the other guy gets it first. Why is that not happening? Why are they not crying that Xbox gets it first?
Oh my gosh, Twitter was on fire. I live for days that when Twitter's on fire.
It's a timed exclusive.
I live for days when Twitter's on fire, and I would say that there's a lot to do with it. But to me, it was the whole overshadowing, right? One, they got Jeff Keighley to announce it, which I guess if you're trying to reach the biggest market available, you do put it on Jeff Keighley's show, as it is watched by millions and millions and millions, right? Hundreds of millions of people watch this. So you want to tell them, hey, it's also coming to PS5. The window is only about 6 months-ish, let's just say, right? 6 months-ish. They didn't give an exact date. And personally, it's not a first-party IP. It's a first-party game, which is great for me as it comes to Game Pass if I ever want to play it. But it's not a first-party IP, so I'm not hurt really by it, right? But it did overshadow everything. Lots of people were flipping out because, oh, it's first-party. They shouldn't be doing it. Why are we putting Indiana Jones on PS5 when the PS5 doesn't do the same to us? You know, you're not returning nobody's going to return the favor, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody's like, oh, it's not an Xbox IP. And everybody's like, oh, well, Spider-Man's not a PlayStation IP and it's exclusive. I saw it all on Twitter. It was incredible, Terry. You should have seen it. So this is the only thing I said is that this would overshadow all the other games, and it did. But from a marketing standpoint, you want to advertise to as many people as possible, right? So this is where you do it. I hate to say it, but Jeff Keighley has the reach, especially the PlayStation faithful reach, right? So from a marketing standpoint, 100% see it. From Xbox standpoint, I 100% think it was. I was like, why? Nobody's going to care about any of your other games now. So yeah, Frank, open up. I know you have issues here too.
Okay. I don't care that it's going to PS5. Obviously, I have all the consoles. I could play it however, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the issue was they announced it as a one more thing, which you're thinking, oh, it's going to be something cool. It's going to be DLC. It'll be like
hidden character,
like something crazy. It's going to like hit. Like this is going to be great. And not to mention that they gave it to Keighley, who's historically negative on Xbox.
Yeah,
so it's like
character to give it to.
It's like you're really gonna like do that, and I don't know who thought of this. They have the Game Awards in December. Mm-hmm. The game will probably already be out by the time, right around the same time. Let it come out. Let it come out on Xbox. Let it come out on PC. And then a few days later, you're at the Game Awards. Everyone's hyping about Indiana Jones. Oh, yeah, it's coming to PS5. It's the perfect timing to do it. I don't know why they did it now. I think it's ridiculous. It's going to – I don't know if this game would have sold consoles. But now, if you already have a PS5,
absolutely zero consoles now.
You're probably not going to, you're not going to buy it to play it 3 to 6 months early. I mean, you're just going to say, I'll wait. I don't know why they do these things. Like, they don't ever let Xbox fans have a moment in the sun where they can just be like, hey, this is a cool game that I'm going to be playing on Xbox. Yes, we'll play it early. That's great. But I just don't think that this was the appropriate time. I would have waited till, like I said, till the Game Awards, right around when the game launched or right after it launched. There's hype for the game, and then you build up a second wave of hype. Now, like you said, this overshadowed everything because they did it in such a strange way. I don't know why they would do this. And, I do understand, too, people are frustrated because PlayStation really doesn't give anything back to Xbox. I know this is like really Disney and a whole nother thing, but
even MLB isn't published by PlayStation. It's published by MLB.
Right. And they were forced to do that. But even like the Lego Horizon game, everyone just brushed off. It's a kid's game. Yeah. But still, it's like, dude, even that they were petty about putting over there. And it's like, that's the problem I have with this whole thing. If I was Microsoft, I would have tried to keep things closer to home and build up a big ecosystem, but I understand that's not where they're going. That's fine, but I just don't think it's a great idea. It's going to be fine for them business wise. They're going to make a ton of money on this game on PlayStation, and when they put other games on, that's fine. But I don't know. I wouldn't have done it in this way such as to like piss on the fans the way they did. I would have waited and done it a little differently, but just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. They could have 100% done it at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
The game would have launched by then, probably, or been right close to launch at that time.
the hype would have been at its all-time peak because it's about to come out.
The Xbox hype. And as you said, if they would have sold any consoles, well, now they're going to sell 0 consoles.
Right.
Which, whatever's important to Xbox is important to Xbox. We're only trying to analyze the decision because we don't sit in the board, so we're trying to figure it out. And we're only reacting to what we saw and what we're also doing. But, I really want to hear from Terry. Terry, I want you to tell us why this doesn't matter and why it doesn't matter to you.
Okay.
And how we're being silly.
All right. So, I want to disagree with Frank. Okay. And I'm not, and I mean no disrespect to your opinion, but I just want to say your opinion was filled with hyperbole. So, all right. So the statement about how, Xbox doesn't get their time in the sun, that's false. That's false. Because literally we stole the thunder when everybody thought that they were going to get Starfield, right? And then what happens? We end up getting Bethesda that goes through. And then they're saying, hey, exclusive. We stole the sun from PlayStation. So it's just hyperbole to say that you don't get your moment of sun. We literally get our moments, but people are quick to forget them because it's easy to dwell on the negative and not remember the positive moments that we've had. All right. So it's just I hate statements like that.
Well, I think they're in a different they have a different strategy now. Back then, yes, that was the case, but I think now I'm talking about currently they're taking away those moments because they are doing a totally different strategy now. Back when Starfield came out and stuff, they were on doing something different before they acquired Activision. Then when they acquired Activision, it changed.
How has their strategy changed? Because I haven't seen it change.
Well, even like Phil said, they kind of they have to give back to the they didn't say the shareholders. He said they let us buy Activision.
Expectation is high.
So we need to give meaning we need to put these games out on other places to get the money back. Like they have to recoup that $70 billion now, and the higher ups are telling them just put it everywhere, do all this stuff, and that
which
necessarily
makes
wasn't
sense,
the strategy.
Look at all of the companies that have made games that are exclusive and they're not putting them everywhere, and what's happening? They're underselling, they're losing money hand over fist.
That's true.
Look at
Final Fantasy did pretty.
I'm thinking Capcom, but I don't think it's Capcom. It's one of the real. Is it Capcom?
Square? I mean, Square.
It might be Square. It might be Square. It's one of the Japanese developer studios. So they keep on underselling their games, and they're literally going bankrupt on their stuff. And even Capcom has too. Their games aren't selling as well as people think. But Final Fantasy undersold. As popular as it is, it undersold. It wasn't profitable. So, it's kind of that thing where gamers have our own view on how if a game is popular in our minds, we think it's, a big seller, but that's not the case. Final Fantasy is probably one of the biggest franchises out there, and it's underselling. So it's just, it's just the way people are looking at things. So it's not the perception of it isn't always accurate, and so people like to make these blanket statements that are just false, and that just perpetuates more problems where people are then just keep spreading all this nonsense, and then people start to believe the nonsense. So it's no, everybody gets their high moments and their low moments. It's not like everyone is poo-pooing on Xbox. It's not. If people like to perpetuate that. And people dwell on it, but it's really not true. We've had our high moments, but people are quick to forget them.
It's what have you done for me recently? That's in the past.
Yeah,
they
could do something amazing.
Leave it in the past.
Yeah, but that literally means, hey, we're going to announce something great today, and then we're going to do something tomorrow, and whatever we did yesterday no longer matters. That's not right.
No, that's not right.
It's not right.
I'm trying to egg you on. I want you to go off, Terry. Go.
I see a lot of you all in here saying that they should have waited. Think about marketing and everything like that. This is a business. If they're launching this game, which is a major release, if they're launching this game in spring for the PlayStation consumer, that means that game is coming out within 6 months. That's why they're announcing it now. They only have a 6-month window to try to get all of their marketing and everything in order so that they can, make sure that they get the sales they need for this game. If they waited till January or whatever everyone's saying, that means they literally would only have a 1 or 2 month window. That's ridiculous. They're not going to be able to get the hype level they need in that amount of time for this. All right. So people are not thinking about this in a business mentality. All right. They have a 6-month window if it comes out in spring, because spring is going to be sometime in March, right? So that means if this game comes out in the beginning of December for Xbox and PC, by time March comes out, that's what, 4 months later?
Yeah.
It's old news. Nobody who played this game at launch is playing this game at that point. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's
The day
old
oneers
news.
are done. The
So
collector editions are
why
done.
are people, for people to be mad that you're going to enjoy this game first, in the highlights of the game release window, which is the holiday season, you get to take advantage of that. And they're getting the game, which is now going to be 4 months old, and it's going to be during the slow season. Okay, nothing big comes out between February and March. For the most part, you might get one big game, but like everyone knows, spring is the snooze fest, right? So why are you mad that you get to play one of the biggest games during the highest point of the gaming window, and when they get it secondhand way later? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it's just this whole entitlement thing that makes no sense to me. Like, you get it first, which is what people keep complaining about all the time, is how we don't get things first. And PlayStation's getting everything. You're literally getting it first, but you're still not happy. Okay, they're gonna get it when the game's no longer relevant. You're still not happy. Even if they got this game, so I feel like even if they waited and released it to PlayStation 2 years later, people are going to have the same response to it, which makes no sense. You probably haven't touched the game in 2 years. Why are you butthurt? It's just dumb. It's a waste of time, and it's like, who cares? It's a time exclusive. Xbox is getting it first, and then PlayStation can also enjoy it, which is great. And I feel like all gamers should be able to enjoy the games they want to enjoy, and not everybody should be held to the fact that, just buy more platforms. Because come on, that's not realistic. All right, that's a Westerner mentality, because we have the ability here to be able to spend money like that. People in other countries, they can't be doing that kind of nonsense. All right, so it's just, let people enjoy games. We should be embracing everybody and be like, oh man, now my friends who are only on PlayStation are going to get to enjoy this game, and when they get to play it, we can talk about it, and we can, come together as a community. But no, people don't do that. People don't do that. They want to, sit here and pull punches on each other and bicker, when we should be coming together, like, yeah, I'm going to get to play this game, and now my friends over here get to play it, and we can have some camaraderie and talk about things we enjoyed about it. But no, that's not going to happen, and it should. And that's the downfall of gaming, because that used to be how gaming was when we were young. When we were young, it didn't matter what platform you played on. You would just play games and enjoy games and talk about games and be happy that didn't matter if you were on Nintendo or Sega or whatever. You just enjoyed games. People need to just stop with the nonsense and the bickering and just enjoy games. Come together as gamers and be like, oh man, yeah, that game is so cool, and appreciate the game, instead of sitting here whining about, oh, so-and-so is going to get it first, or so-and-so is going to get it because, oh, they don't deserve to have it. Like, what kind of nonsense is that, to have that mentality? Oh, they don't deserve to get it because so-and-so made this game, so no one else is allowed to have it? Like, that's just so petty. And it's just, to me, that's dumb. The amount of entitlement you have to think that someone else doesn't deserve it just because somebody else made it, it's ridiculous. And it drives me nuts that we have this conversation on almost every show whenever something like this happens. It's dumb. It's dumb to think that no one else is deserving to appreciate an art that someone else made because that art isn't, on whatever platform they use. It's just dumb. It's dumb. It's like, oh, you know what? You're not allowed to go and appreciate this art form because, it's just dumb. I don't even know how to explain it, because I'm starting to get kind of twisted in my words right now. But it's just, the whole idea is dumb. It's just dumb.
But don't you think that we deserve more games on Xbox from the PlayStation as well? Like, so
we don't deserve anything.
Well, you
That's
know what
the
I mean.
problem.
Like, if you're buying a machine,
getting a game is a privilege, but gamers have become so entitled they think they deserve this, or they'll start making demands like you have to do this in this game.
Well, when you pay,
it's ruining gaming.
But
look at the way games are being developed right now. Games are declining in how that they're being shown because people keep making demands about what they want in these games, and then no one's appreciating them anymore. And then all people are doing is bickering because they made all these changes. Well, maybe if you kept your mouth shut and just let the creator create, you would have something to be proud of instead of telling the creator what to do and then being mad that the creation was lame. It's like, well, maybe stop, telling the creator how to create. It's people need to stop thinking that they have to rule over everything that there is to do within gaming, because it's one thing for a developer to want to take criticisms. It's a completely another thing when you see it happening repeatedly, where gamers start boycotting, gamers start saying, if you don't make these changes to this game, we're not going to support you anymore. It's dumb. And I saw that happen with Assassin's Creed. They literally changed a DLC in I think it was Odyssey. They changed DLC because of the gamers whining so dang much. And then when they made the change, it created a huge plot hole because they were trying to be politically correct, and it ruined how it just was dumb. It's just let people create. Just let people create. Stop the entitlement, and we need to just embrace games. Like, who cares where the game is?
The thing is, though, the reason why there's a sense of entitlement is because it's not entitlement. I'm a consumer. I spent $500 on this box, and they're not going to bat for me. They are going to bat for you.
Well, you're getting it first.
I know.
You're getting it first. How is that? How is them getting it 4 months later that you get?
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying
they're putting you in the spotlight. You get it 4 months before the other guy.
Yes, in this situation, 100%, we're getting a benefit from being on it. But why are they not going? They're saying, we're giving you Indiana Jones on this platform. They're going to make money there. Why aren't they saying, hey, can we have Spider-Man? Can we have something over here? Like, they don't ever try to get anything back. And I have a problem with that because there's less games to play on Xbox. I spent $1,000 on because I have 2 of them.
There's fewer games to play on PlayStation 5 when you're looking at your big releases. They haven't been
they're getting all their games and Xbox games.
They haven't been getting any major releases. Majority of the exclusive games they've got on the PlayStation 5 have all been PS4 ports. All right. They haven't been getting anything either. They've had it worse off than Xbox has, but yet Xbox are the biggest crybabies. It's driving me crazy. I'm not even a PlayStation fan, and I can see that when it comes to your exclusives matter, PlayStation 5 doesn't have any. They don't have any. But yet you guys want to keep crying about how doom and gloom is Xbox. We don't get time in the sun. When literally PlayStation is the doom and gloom of this generation. But yet Xbox boys are crying harder than they are. And then you want people to take you seriously? You want people to take you seriously when literally they're worse off, but you want to act like you're still the victim. It's just ridiculous.
I just want value for my purchase.
Everybody wants value, but look, but it's no different than
we're not getting value.
It's no different than when you pay money. You pay money for something, you're not guaranteed. They didn't say, hey, if you spend $600, we're going to guarantee
why wouldn't
that you're going to have 200 games that you're going to like. They're not saying that.
But why wouldn't I? Why would I buy? I bought this over another system.
We've had the argument how people will go and they'll spend money on a platform for one game. So if all you value is that one game to get that platform, why are you BSing about how you want other games now? Okay, no. If you bought into a platform for one game, you got your value because that's the reason why you bought it. You wanted to play whatever game. You got your value. So to now sit there and say you want more value is entitlement because you bought it for that reason and you enjoyed it for that reason. You got 100% of the value that you were asking for. Now you want more. That's different.
But the problem is too, like they bought Activision and they said, oh, here's all this. Like we're in a position of power to say, hey, can you port some of these games on, over here. They're giving them all this stuff. And it's like, I'm not saying that I'm saying everyone should have access to the games. If Microsoft is going to take their time and money and port their games to PlayStation, they should say, hey, can we get something for this so that I can play the same games on both platforms? What's to stop me from buying a PlayStation where I can play Indiana Jones and their exclusives?
Yeah,
I just
the
want
issue
both.
is that my $500 device will have access to less games than the other $500
That's
device.
my problem, and it's not entitlement. I spent money on that. I bought 2 Xboxes. I went full in this generation because I love Xbox.
There's no proof that your $500 device has less games than the other. When I've already told
There's
you,
100% proof
There's
available
no Spider-Man.
everywhere.
There's no God of War.
Yeah,
Spider-Man and God of War were ported. They made those for the previous generation, and then they
port them to
released them.
Xbox for me.
yeah, port it to
And
the
then they
Xbox.
released them on the next one. And what did you have to do? You had to pay additional for the upgrade. Okay,
That's true.
you didn't. No, you didn't. So you're sitting here saying that you're getting undervalued. PlayStation's the one that got undervalued. They literally bought a game made from the previous generation, and then they had to pay more for the upgrade. What did Xbox do? Xbox lets you get the upgrade for free, but no, you're still not happy. You still still want to sit here and be like, we don't get our time in the sun. Literally, PlayStation fans for the PS5 have gotten screwed over more than Xbox fans have. But Xbox fans are the ones crying the hardest. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
I disagree. I don't,
They're launch games. The launch games, if you're looking at just the launch games for PlayStation 5, were all ports. All of them.
At least they had launch games. Xbox launched with no games.
Well, and just port them over here. I don't care that they're ports. I want to play them on my Xbox.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is that this whole release strategy for since the Bethesda Activision showcase. Now, again, I've said this a long time that eventually all Xbox games, including the big 3, are going to go over to PlayStation. It's going to happen, right? We all agree it's going to happen, and we will all react and do what we got to do to be gamers first, right? But here's the confusion, right? So 3 Bethesda games have launched with 3 strategies, and I think this is where Xbox is getting. They don't speak in absolutes, right? They speak in this verbiage. They use verbiage that shows a lot of uncertainty, case by case basis. We're taking time to evaluate it, right? I'm going to move over to the next topic because this is going to spill over into it anyway. We've already spilled over into it. And that is that, the 3 games from Bethesda have launched with 3 different strategies, right? You got Starfield with no PlayStation release, full exclusive, which is a great choice. You got Indiana Jones as a timed exclusive. Again, don't care. It's not a first party IP for me, right? I don't care about it, but I do disagree with the way it was announced. That's my problem, right? And then you got Doom that's going to be day and date on PlayStation. So you have 3 games with 3 different strategies. And all you get back from Xbox is like case by case. Which leads to this whole I'm gonna throw it up here. It leads to this. Let me see if I can zoom in. You know what? Let me save this image so I can zoom in on it a lot.
Just to be clear too, I want all games to come to everything. I'm not saying like I want stuff to be only on Xbox. I'm just saying like, hey, I wish that they would give us something a little bit more back for where they're porting everything over there. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like I don't want games on certain platforms or anything like that.
Getting,
this is all the Xbox. This is on an Xbox game, and this is the conversation being had. How's the PS5 version? Does the PS5 version of the game? Did they get indication when we could expect the PS5? Did you get to play the Xbox version of the PS5 version? Yeah, we'll wait for the PS5 version. Yeah, PS5 on an Xbox game. This is what that whole corporate speak is
now
doing.
You're mad that other people are excited to enjoy the same game you're going to get to enjoy.
I'm mad that they don't speak in absolutes. Let's move over to the next topic. We have already spilt over, but before we move over, let me catch up with the chat because it's been on fire.
Real quick.
Yes.
I want to clarify. My rant was guided towards, because not directly towards Frank, but he used certain wording that a lot of fanboys use, and it was directed towards fanboys who used that kind of wording, not to him specifically.
Yeah, that's cool.
Screw you, Frank.
At the end of the day, this is just it's gaming. Like I don't take any of this stuff personally or anything. It's just like it's what it is. You know, it's not a big deal.
Holy crap! The chat really did scroll a lot. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to read it, but I'm like focusing.
My
on
God, Jesus. Let's see. I'm just gonna start from here. So sorry if I missed you guys. I'm just starting. I gotta pick a starting point, and I'm not gonna read everything because holy cow, you guys are on fire. Shout out to the chat. You guys are the real MVP. Web Dave says, I believe the reason they were upset was because they announced it right after they announced the release date for Xbox. They could have waited until next year to announce the PS5. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm cool for the same reason I'm good on Wolverine. No double jumps, no projectile like magic or super guns. They're just guys aside from claws and healing. Okay. Let's see. DE says, I'm cool, meaning I won't be buying the / playing. All right, mate, me and you, DE. Me and you, buddy. It's Indiana Jones. Never been a good Indiana Jones game. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says, should have been a blog post announcement in January. Yeah. Legendary Yobi says, you can't say Xbox never let their fan base have any time in the sun. They had Halo, they had Forza, they had Motorsport, they had Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush. Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, those games are great, and they're associated with Xbox 100%. Why? Because they're allowed to shine. They're allowed to shine in the beautiful Xbox sun. Let's see. I agree. Maybe on PS5 would have been better at the Game Awards show, but again, who cares? Xbox is never winning the Game Awards anything. I mean, just being honest, the people that vote for the Game Awards are all Xbox haters, all those journalists. So I watched the Game Awards for the trailers, but not thinking Xbox is going to win anything, even if they deserve it.
Didn't Starfield win a bunch of stuff?
No.
I don't remember.
No,
I think Starfield won some stuff.
Don't think so. What did Starfield win Best Music? No.
I don't know. I'll have to look up what I thought they won something.
Maybe they won Best Space.
Best Space.
Yes.
The game of emptiness. That'd be fair.
Just like space, 99% empty. It's beautiful. Let's see. Shout out to Deep123. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He or she says, the biggest problem for me is not exclusives, but rather how long games are taking to be made. 6 to 8 years is crazy.
Yeah.
It's the modern gaming cycle,
Okay.
And again, Legendary Yobi stresses, it's not about the box anymore. It's about the ecosystem. People can be upset all they want. The era of exclusives is gone. Nintendo will be the last ones holding on to that flag.
That's true.
And I agree to the ecosystem. I'm a huge fan of the Xbox ecosystem expanding. But again, because they don't speak in absolutes, I'm left wondering what exactly is the ecosystem. That's where we're about to get into. Okay. Let's see. Cyber Gunther, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Xbox moment in the sun goes down the drain by their own hand. One day they do good, the next day they shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, I agree. I really feel like these CEOs need to pay attention to marketing people, or they need to hire me as a marketing person to just at least say what I said, which was, you announce this, it's going to take away everything.
It seems like there's a disconnect too between like the teams and stuff, and that's a big problem. Like, remember they got rid of those studios and then they released the Fire controller like 5 minutes late. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you not talk to each other,
Death Dealer is over here talking about the perfect world, which doesn't exist, just like Terry. People will always have a preference on consoles. Games should just be released across the board. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yes.
Let's get back to reality. It's not going to happen. So it's only happening for one brand, and that's the part that really is.
But somebody has to, make that choice first so that others can learn to follow. The change doesn't just happen. Someone else has to be the first ones. And right now, Xbox is being the first ones to make change.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take time for the others to follow suit, but they will.
Will
I
they?
hope so.
Will they? We'll see.
The new CEO that PlayStation is way different than the ones they've had in the past. So I think that change is coming. It's going to be slow, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, and I agree with Joby on this one. Indiana Jones isn't a needle mover, to be honest. That IP hasn't generated big money since its time in the sun. A lot of people are excited for it, right? A lot of people are excited for it. Not me. but I'm the only one that I know of in my panels that is excited for it. That isn't excited for it.
Yobi, real quick. Time with a Y is an herb. Multiple comments. He's used the herb instead of time.
Legendary Yobi. That's the
time.
You haven't seen his love.
No, I love it, but I'm just saying it's funny because
life.
Time in the sun. I keep picturing him putting some herbs in the sun so he can ferment. He's trying to ferment.
Let's see. Xbox We Crush Dreams. Yeah, absolutely. Happy the Count Gamer says profit is important so we can get more games. Just play games and don't worry about games going to different platforms. I mean, you're not wrong, bud. You're not wrong. But I run a news show. I gotta care. I gotta read a lot of news all throughout the week. Yes. Let's see. But I do talk about how much I love playing games on all platforms on Iconic Video Games on Fridays. So yeah. Let's see. Jesse Darby, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, should Gears of War go 6 months later? Should Fable go 6 months later? Should Halo go 6 months later? I forgot one. They got so many IPs now. They're going to. Let's just be honest. They're going to. I have zero faith that any future titles from Xbox will be exclusive. Absolutely zero faith. And again, we're going to talk about it here in a minute. Shout out to Stanley Francois. Sorry. Stanley Francois. He says, big facts, Terry. Let's see. Stilo Faxed. Facts. I feel what Homegirl is coming from. Game on. Yes, a lot of people on Terry's side. Lots of people loving Terry. Let's see. Fastback says, again, Terry wins this round. She has my vote for Xbox president because Xbox would thrive under her. Axel Gaming would bankrupt Xbox in 6 months like he did Sega. Oh, dang.
He's coming.
Man, throwing me under the Sega bus. Oh, can't believe you would use the blast processing against me.
He would, because Sega only cared about Sonic, right? And what does Axel only care about? Halo.
Halo's where it's at, man. If you
That's
don't
all
care
we
about
would do is
you're not
Halo.
on Xbox, Team Xbox, just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I have the perfect photo for this. Ka-chow! Welcome to Axel's nice. Xbox.
The fact that you had that. That's cool. Dude.
Yeah, I do have that. Let's see. I spent $30 to play three days earlier on Starfield. I don't pay $100 to pay 3 days earlier, according to Jason Rout. Again, according to Jesse. Game Complainer says, I don't remember Sonic coming to SNES.
Not officially.
Yeah, not officially. Oh, something's happening. Okay, here we go. Talk that talk, Terry. Talk your talk. Thank you for making that PG, Legendary Joby. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let PlayStation lose out if they lose on profit. I'm just going to scroll now. Let's see. Death Dealer says, my PlayStation is collecting dust. My Xbox is on right now being played. Yeah. Let's see. EA is a good example of forcing devices to do this, that, and how did that work out? BioWare just let Respawn cook, and they have done better. Yeah. I agree. I am a huge fan of letting the devs make the game they want. Just throwing it out there. But let's see. Dan the Man Cunningham says, like it or not, unique consoles are going the way of the roller rinks and movie theaters. No one champions in movie theater, just movies. Xbox and Sony's consoles are just the vehicles, yes, but they are important vehicles. Can't play games without a gaming console, right?
Well, now you can.
It's an important part of the gaming vehicle. Yeah. Let's see. Cyber Gunther says Xbox doesn't have a backbone sometimes. Frank is basically saying that PS fans cry a lot, PC fans don't, Switch fans don't. Yeah.
Okay,
poor Frank. Frank is getting yelled at for being a geek. Yeah, sorry, man. He just has
it's okay.
All
it's because he's a Picard fan. That's why.
Yeah. It's true.
And no, these topics are always going to fire up Terry. Just being honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
Always going to fire her up.
It's just gaming and stuff. It's not like serious life stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I warned Frank that all this was going to fire her
from
up.
Nintendo fanboys over the servers and things and the online access they have issues with when it comes to Smash and Mario Kart. You're like, no, trust me, all fanboys cry.
Yeah. Shout out to RWK88. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Cyber Gunther says, Xbox got to say right from the jump, hey, we're a multi-platform console. The only exclusive thing is Game Pass. And if you recall, I had a poll a couple of weeks ago talking about would Xbox fans be okay if Game Pass was the exclusive. 80% of them said yes. Remember that, Terry? 80% of people said they were okay with Xbox Game Pass being the console exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. El Nini, thank you so much for being here. You're the real MP. You believed everything Phil said. You did it to yourself. That's talking about me. Love it. Let's see. You can't believe the same Xbox. Let's see. I'm gonna skip down a little bit, guys. Let's see. Jesse Darby makes a good point here. He says, "Y'all keep dreaming. You guys know PlayStation ain't going to put their crap on Xbox. Xbox will be better off. Waiting to see if this is a hybrid console next generation with PC integrated hardware. Oh, man, I hope so. Let's see. Starfield will sell on PlayStation, but not as much on PC and Xbox because the mods are the backbone of the game, and we know how Sony feels about mod. Yeah. Stanley says, Satya said we're going to compete. This is how we're going to be competing. This is Xbox making money. We'll be fine. Xbox is going to be fine.
Yeah, they'll always.
Shout out to my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for being the MVP of my life. She says, Mr. Fasad, you should come on here more on another episode. Yeah, you should definitely be here. Doesn't Microsoft usually win Publisher of the Year? They've won once in the past 5 years, from what I understand. Let's see. And Jesse Darby said, he said the ecosystem is Game Pass, and where Game Pass exists. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
Wait a minute. Who just said that we weren't going to get anything from PlayStation?
Man, I'm reading so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
So.
I read so fast I don't remember. But we don't get anything from PlayStation.
That's not true. That's not true. We got Stray, and we're getting Kenna.
That's not from PlayStation. That's from third parties.
Doesn't matter. Kenna was a PlayStation console exclusive.
Third party.
Doesn't matter. It was a console exclusive, and we're getting.
When we're talking about this, we're talking about first party, Terry.
Come on, man.
Big on topic.
That's moving the goalpost. We literally it was a console exclusive game, and we're getting it now. That counts.
When we get a PlayStation first party IP on Xbox, I will fold. Until then. Yeah. All right. And obviously, baseball is not a first party IP. Baseball was invented way before consoles, right? Okay.
Baseball.
Destiny is technically a first-party IP via acquisition. That doesn't count because it already existed, right? And is that it? I think that's it. Okay, let's talk about stuff that's not even first-party IP. Spider-Man is not a first-party IP, just first-party published. We still don't get it. Until such a time, I'm right, you're wrong. Deal with it. I'm just messing with you, Terry. Let's see.
I honestly wouldn't want it. They ruined Spider-Man, so I can keep it.
Let's see. You're not going to get God of War from PlayStation, that's for sure. Or Uncharted, Spider-Man, maybe because Disney forced them. Spider-Man, yeah.
See, that was like kind of my point. Like, they're not ever gonna put their stuff. Maybe one day. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
All right, I'm gonna move over to the next topic because we're kind of already in it. Yeah, we're kind of already in it, so let's just move forward with it, shall we? All right. So Phil Spencer did an interview after the Indiana Jones announcement. A nice 12-minute interview on the official Xbox podcast. He says, Phil Spencer, we have more Xbox console players than ever. As fans question Microsoft's multi-platform strategy. Absolutely. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the quotes. Lots of stuff here. Lots of text. Here we go. All right, here we go. Quotes. He says, I'll start by saying Machine Games is doing such a nice job with Indiana Jones. I thought it showed really well. It did. Well, that's the most important thing, the quality of the games. It was just nice to get a long gameplay segment. Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring we launched 4 games. 2 of them on Switch, and 4 of them on PlayStation. We said we're going to learn. During the June Xbox Showcase, I might have said, from our learning, we're going to do more. What I see when I look, our franchises are getting bigger. And I believe that. So he says his franchises they're gonna learn. First off, what about a bunch of lies? There's no way Indiana Jones is going to PlayStation in 6 months. They've been working on it this whole time.
Yes. When he was directly asked about it, it had to be in development.
Yeah,
it had
to be about it because he was asked, are one of the 4 games Starfield or Indiana Jones? And he straight said no, knowing dang well they were working on that port.
Right.
He should have said yes to Indiana Jones, no to Starfield.
Or he should have just said, I can't comment on that right now. And that would have been
which would have been the same thing. Yeah. So he straight up lied. Sorry, Phil, I got to call you out. All right, let's see. He goes on to say, our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been. Phil Spencer emphasized. So I look at it and I say, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. We run a business. It's definitely true. Inside of Microsoft, the bar is high for us. In terms of the delivery, we have to give back to the company. We get a level of support from Microsoft that it's just amazing and what we're able to go and do. Yeah, spending $70 billion to acquire is a lot of support. I'm not going to lie. That's the kind of support you wish for, right? So I look at it. I look at this like, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow on console, PC, and cloud. It's just a strategy that is working for us. Right? So, and so they bring up that the total number of console players hasn't grown in years, sitting at around 250 million at any one time, which is why you see a lot of people moving over, right? Which is true. So let's talk about these 2 quotes so far. Terry, what do you think about these 2 quotes so far?
Which 2 quotes again? Because
the ones I just read. Sorry.
I know, but you.
So he was talking. Let me scroll up. Let's go this one. Okay. Where he's talking about how, they learned since their beginning of the year multi-platform announcement, and that is basically going well. And
they've made so much money putting Sea of Thieves on
Sea of Thieves,
PlayStation. It was a great business choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he was directly asked if the criticism comes that he was directly asked about Starfield and Indiana Jones. Now he was asked in context of like, are one of the 4 of these? And he said no, which was true. But you got to be, I don't know if he thinks that gamers are stupid. He probably does think we're stupid, just being honest with the way if he ever listens to this podcast, he's probably like, and, but he's probably like, oh, one more thing, Indiana Jones isn't one of them. He should have just straight up said Indiana Jones is one of them. Obviously. Maybe not one of the initial 4, but it was definitely one of them, because there's no way this port would be done in 6 months unless they've been working on it this whole time. So a lot of people are calling Phil Spencer out on this, basically saying he was lying. What do you think, Terry?
I don't know.
All right, moving on.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
It's okay.
We've already foresaw that they were going to start releasing more stuff over on PlayStation. So I don't know. I feel like whenever they announce another one, people keep getting shocked. So I don't know. I kind of don't really have any more I can comment on the whole nonsense.
All right, Frank, anything on this first statement other than anything else to share?
I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. Whether he lied or not, we know that this is where they're going. So, I mean, it just doesn't shock me at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he told the truth technically, but I still feel that it was 100% misleading. Let's see. Let me check in with the chat real quick before I get too far. Let's see. Amy Hood wants her money, Phil. Yeah, Amy Hood. Yeah. Jesse Darby says it's not Amy Hood that wants her money; it's the board of members that want their money. They're getting their money. What are they complaining about? Let's see. Web Dave says he did not lie. He said when asked about the 4 games coming, Indiana Jones was not one of the original 4. 4 people can turn this any way they want to, but speak the truth. Yeah. Like I said, for context, it was one of the original 4 that they were talking about. So he did not lie, but he knew. He knew. Let's see. Let's see.
I mean, he did say that things are always changing. So at the time he made a statement doesn't mean that things didn't change a couple months after.
He didn't rule out any future games, and that's where I came. Like all games are going forward, which I still feel that way. Every game is going forward is going there. The fact that Hellblade didn't launch on PlayStation is surprising to me. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not. If the decision to put a game on the other platform happened after a statement's made, that's not a lie. That's just their plan changed. Mm-hmm. That's a new development. It's not them technically lying if they really didn't foresee it doing it at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Axel, you're moving the goalposts. I'm not moving the goalposts, man. I'm just saying that they're not being straightforward with us. And that's what's creating the platform confusion. Let's see. Stop believing anything that comes out of Phil's mouth. Things change way too fast at that company. No point. And I've said that before, that Xbox seems to be the gaming company that changes their strategy every 3 months. Every 3 months, something changes with Xbox. And, because the companies run on quarters. So every quarter, something changes. Let's see. Good morning, gamers. Shout out to Roberto Z. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. All right, so franchises are getting stronger. Let me see. Going. Okay. Okay, so here they're saying that they're getting support from Microsoft, which I totally agree. Getting $70 billion is a lot of support. The platform, whatever that is, continues to grow on console, PC, and cloud. And it's just a strategy that works for us. What is the platform? Define the platform. Okay. The platform is whatever the heck makes money, I guess. I don't know.
Everything is the platform.
Yeah, they need to put the platform, aka where we make money, anywhere we can make money, continues to grow. So yeah,
I feel like that's true for you.
They feel like they won't define it.
Look, they get grandfathered in because they're using Microsoft security systems and things. So that they get grandfathered in. Okay, they're part of the ecosystem. They got a 0.
Yeah, I'm just so confused on what the platform is right now. That's my whole thing. Like, I don't know. I don't like living I don't like leaving things up to question. I like knowing, whatever that platform is. Let's see. I will also say that in our industry, there's a lot of pressure within the industry. People are looking for ways to grow. Us, as fans and players of games, we just have to anticipate that there's going to be more change, aka more games on other platforms, aka all of them. And some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed are just going to change. If they start throwing games on PlayStation Plus, they're going to kill Game Pass. Just throwing it out there. That's going to change for all of us. The end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, we're focused on the wrong things. So for us, the health of Xbox, health of our platform, whatever that is, and growing our games are the most important things. So, health of Xbox, the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox, I'm going to assume he's talking about Xbox console here, right? Health of Xbox, I feel like they do stuff to the Xbox that just, like, hey, great news, and the next week I'm going to shoot myself in the foot, right? Health of our platform, whatever the heck that platform is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they need to define the platform as anywhere a Microsoft account exists or can exist, instead of saying some, because that would encompass everything that's connected to the internet, and growing our games are the most important things. I do agree that growing games needs to be important. That's just they are this is the gaming platform, gaming company. And if your games don't grow, then your platform won't exist, whatever that platform is. But, Xbox as a console definitely won't exist as part of that platform. So, yeah. So those were Phil's quotes. Terry, what do you feel? This was in response to the Indiana Jones backlash.
I have no issues. I'm okay with it. It's fine. I feel like I've said enough. There isn't
calm
really
down.
much...
Terry's in calm down mode, guys.
I don't know. Like, I don't have issues with it. I want them to succeed. I want these studios to succeed. And again, I think this is great that more people get to enjoy Indiana Jones, because I have stated in the past that this is a game that's going to not have the biggest fan base. Because when you look at Indiana Jones, the majority of the fan base are much older, and a small percentage of them are gamers. So to try to get the younger people into Indiana Jones is going to be difficult. So to have this game available in more places is going to be needed if they want to make that money back. So I fully support it, and I want people to enjoy games. And Xbox gets it first, so Xbox people have really nothing to be upset about.
Don't tell me how to live my life, Terry.
I'm telling you, I live your life.
Frank, what do you think about Phil Spencer?
I mean, I'm with you where I wish they would just be upfront about things. Like, we're not dumb. We can see they're going in a different direction, and that's fine, and it makes sense. They will outlive PlayStation. They have more money. Their brand will evolve to fit the times. They're going ahead with the future. They see the writing on the wall. That's fine. But I just don't know where they're going to go from here. Like, if they really are making a hybrid box or whatever, what would stop you from buying a game on your Xbox but through Steam? Or like, that doesn't even really fit with their strategy now, because they're not, they want you to buy from Microsoft Store. They want you to subscribe to Game Pass. And then what if they get to the point where they don't make the box? Then what will Game Pass be on? PlayStation? Will it be on PC? Like, how is this all going to work? And that's what I don't like, is the uncertainty. I don't want to go buy $70 games on my Series X, and then 2 weeks later their strategy evolves faster, and they're not making another Xbox. And then where do my games go? It's like, I don't like living in that uncertainty, like you said before. I wish they would just be upfront, and I'm okay with it. I see that they're going to make money. They're going to succeed, because they obviously like look at them putting Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. They're making tons of money, and they're going to put their stuff everywhere. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I just wish they would clarify, like you said, what's the platform? What's the ecosystem? Where is this stuff going to exist, and how will I access it in the future? Because we know they're going somewhere else. So, I mean, we'll have to just wait and see.
If the next Xbox, because the platform has to make money, and, make no mistake, they make the most money off of this box because they collect that 30% off of every game sold. The storefront has to be important to them. It has to be. Now, if that storefront can exist, they tried to get that storefront to exist on mobile. They couldn't get it because they don't hold the platform. So if they lose this box, they lose that storefront, and then they don't dictate anything anymore. They're out of their ability to move the gaming industry in a way that they will be beneficial to them, right? So they have to really focus on this Xbox console, in my opinion, because of that storefront. There's a Windows storefront, but nobody I know buys a game on Windows storefront.
No,
nobody I know has Steam. So that's all I'm saying. So unless they're about to buy Steam and we don't know about it, they need that storefront, and Xbox is the only storefront they have. And unless they're happy with, they're like, running that storefront's too much money, we're happy with the 70%, and okay, whatever. But I just don't see them losing all that 30% from all those games they don't make. So I just don't see that as something going forward. And obviously they have already said that they're launching a console next gen. So at least we know next gen still exists, which is awesome, especially a handheld. I know Terry's excited for the handheld. So, this whole thing is just, I need to know what is the platform. Is the platform anywhere a Microsoft account exists? Because that would be all encompassing, in my opinion, and maybe that's what they need to say. Yeah, because the platform, as Terry said, we have moved beyond just being a box, right? And I love playing on cloud, and I love playing on my PC, and I love cross play, and I love cross saves, I love cross progression, I love all of that. But I don't, if I play Sea of Thieves on PS5, am I going to have cross progression? I don't think I will. just between you and me. But I don't know. I haven't tried because I'm not paying for it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to tell me. So yeah, that's what I'm saying is that they just haven't been, in my opinion, straightforward with us on this whole interview. As a whole thing, like they're leaving a lot of uncertainty, and the uncertainty leads to that whole I can't wait to play on PS5 thing, right? For games that haven't even been announced, like Hellblade 2, I was shocked that it didn't come to PS5. Just being truthful, but I don't know. I think exclusives are important, but I'm alone on this one. I think, especially with Terry. Terry hates exclusives. So yeah. Do you think that the health of the brand is going forward well right now? I mean, he's saying that it is, so we have no reason not to believe him, right? More consoles, it was very specific, more Xbox console players than ever. So the brand has to be healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's see. Let me see. So Legendary Yobi says he was being straightforward. You're sounding like everyone else on Twitter. You're smarter than that. The man didn't lie. I don't think he's being straightforward at all. Just between you and me, like there's a lot of they don't ask questions that I would ask. They ask questions that are very, very much like pro Xbox. Nobody asks him hard-hitting questions. And then I've noticed that when he does get asked a hard-hitting question, he shifts and never answers the question directly. And maybe that's his strategy. I don't know. But I feel that whenever he gets asked a question that I care about, he shifts onto something else.
There's only so much transparency they can give, though. They're not going to give out their entire playbook because that's going to hurt them, because then their competition can pivot and do things. Like, they're not going to tell you everything.
No, well, I would respect it more if he was just like, I'm not going to answer that. I don't know.
Like, you say that, and Phil, I feel like you'd be even more upset.
It's like, Phil, hey Phil, what's your favorite color? Oh, I think all Green. The colors are amazing. But you want to know what's more amazing? The food I eat. Man, I ate this burger one time, blah, 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 blah. And that's how I feel he answers. He doesn't even talk about colors. Hey Phil, what's your favorite color? He doesn't even talk about colors. He'll talk about food. And that's exactly what I mean. He shifts a lot when he's asked hard-hitting questions.
People do that, though. All corporate people do that.
Yeah, that's corporate speak, as I said.
It is. But at the same time, there have been comments made here by both Frank and Axel about, you guys want
the platform defined.
Hold on. I was dwelling on it while you guys were talking. I forgot what it was.
What were we talking about?
I forgot what you guys, but I forgot the word you guys used. But basically, you guys want to have a sense of control over what's going to happen, and I get that. But you're not gonna have that. I mean, the future.
We were talking about defining the platform.
No, I don't remember what you guys said.
We want them to fully define the platform.
Frank said the word, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing.
What'd you say, Frank?
Ecosystem platform. I don't know.
No, I forgot what it was now, because a lot of chatting had happened before I could get back to it, and by the time we got back to it, I forgot. But basically, you guys want more transparency, and you want to have a more sense of control over things. But the thing is the future is not set in stone. Things are going to shift and change, and you should. There have been plenty of things that we have all invested in our lives where we didn't know if there was a future for that device or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. You get it because you like it.
Absolutely.
So to be like, I'm not going to continue to invest in Xbox or whatever because they're not being transparent enough. I don't know if I'm going to have access to my games or whatever. I mean, it's valid, but at the same time, it's like, we don't have this conversation for other things. We're okay with the fact that we're going to lose things, like, I don't know. I feel like
I lost my Zune library. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. That's the thing with digital, though. I mean, You know, just like when what was it? Like Disney had their own movie thing, and then they shifted their stuff as well and pulled their stuff and moved their stuff around. And Voodoo got bought out recently, and you know, digital stuff changes for the most part. You know, some people lost stuff. I know, like on PlayStation side, they lost some stuff recently with movies, didn't they? With their movies.
Yeah, even if they bought the movie, they lost the ability. To
so
use
I mean,
it.
nothing is a certainty. All right, especially in this digital world. So we have to get used to the fact that if we're buying something digitally and they're pushing cloud, you know, so consoles are going to get replaced at some point by cloud, which means now you don't have anything other than I promise that you have this, and then you know they can retract that at any time. Anybody could buy them out or you know, or make a new product that outshines it and phases it out. You know, anything, there is no certainties for anything. So to try to sit here and, you know, try to hold Phil accountable for everything he says, he doesn't know what the future is going to bring. He has an idea of what he would like to see, but even that might not come to fruition because technology is evolving so fast all the time. No one can sit here and try to hold him for every little and nitpick things like that. Technology is always shifting. All right. So we can't be kind of doing that kind of stuff because, you know, it's just not possible. It's not possible to be like, okay, what he said is true today, but 6 months from now, you know, it's not going to be true. Oh, well, now he lied. No, he was being truthful at that time, but technology is always shifting. You know, we're focusing on cloud right now, but who knows? Somebody might invent something else, and then cloud might not even pan out. We might completely shift. You know, just look at cars. You know, there's that shift right now between whether we want to stick with fuel, go with EVs, go hydrogen. There's literally like Porsche and some other companies, BMW, they're looking at hydrogen. Even Japan's looking at hydrogen. Like, there's nothing that's certain. We don't know what we're gonna have 30 years from now. You know. So, you know, they're going to experiment. Technology is going to change, and we kind of just got to go with the flow, you know?
Yeah, no, and we are going with the flow. Like, no matter what, I'm going to game no matter what game.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop gaming.
I feel like you're not really going with the flow, though, if you're going to nitpick, well, he said this like 6 months ago. How dare he? You know, he's not being truthful. It's like,
have you seen
that's not going with the flow. That's fighting the fact that change happened.
No. You're just not looking at the flow. Hold on. Let me show you the flow. Hold on. Let me see. So like the Roberto Z says need to come out straightforward with things. For games just to go multi-plat does not happen overnight. They have a plan to ship across platforms. Then say it from the start rather than rumors. Then let's rumors start. Rumors hurt your brand. Absolutely agree. Just you know,
but fans create rumors more than all it takes is one influencer to be like, you know what, I think this might happen, and then people run with it. I mean, there's no control over that. So most rumors that tend to happen are all fake, made up things that people want to believe, you know. And and all it really can do is kind of just give free publicity to whatever it is that they're rumoring about.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I said, there is no certainties for anything, you know. There really isn't. And why am I talking about the landscape 10 to 15 years from now? Literally because everything is shifting so much, you don't want to be left behind. Look, Microsoft is always planning so far ahead. That's why they have to make changes so much, because they're always looking far enough into the future. And then that's why you see companies like PlayStation, they're not planning that far ahead. And so now they're trying to play catch up with Microsoft when they, you know, what they have their PlayStation Plus or whatever. They didn't think about doing that. That was their response to Game Pass.
Yeah.
All right. They're playing catch up. That's why you got to plan far into your future. You can't just be looking at today. If you're only looking at the now, then everybody else is going to pass you by.
Mm-hmm. Hard facts. But let me show you the flow of Xbox. I have a perfect meme for it. You ready, Terry?
Go for it.
This is what it feels like right here. I'm going with the gaming flow right now, and this is what the gaming Xbox flow feels like right now.
It does not feel like that, dude. It does not.
It is 100% like
no, it is not.
I just wanted to show that. All right. So, yeah, but I don't disagree with you. I believe Xbox is the most forward-thinking brand out of all of them. Just period. No arguments there, right? But they got to be straightforward with us because I may not be a Microsoft investor, even though I am, but let's just pretend I'm not. I'm an Xbox console or an Xbox platform investor, right? And I should matter to them. And I understand that shift takes time, but they need to just come out and say it instead of letting it bleed out little by little. They could have told us about Indiana Jones at the beginning of the year. 100% could have told us. Let it bleed out. Let us get all emotional, blah, 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 right, and get over it. Instead, it's like there's always something new that Xbox just stabs themselves with, and the internet just blows up with, and journalists write articles about that just is. And they're not writing fantastic articles about it. They're writing negative articles about it, right? So I'm just throwing it out there. Let's see. Doggy Dog says, if they put Steam on Xbox, that's a mistake. They'll stop making third-party versions of Xbox games. Yeah, I agree with Doggy. Why would I make an Xbox version if Xbox can run Steam? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. If they don't make another Xbox, where do your games go? Still on Xbox in the ecosystem. Your gamers aren't going to vanish. Your games aren't going to vanish. Sorry. If they do, then that's a major lawsuit. Maybe. I mean, I did agree to a digital rights agreement that basically says they can take away my access at any time for any reason. Let's see. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same operating system. It'd probably be an app because you can build a regular PC and have the Windows operating system. Yeah, that's right. The storefront that's in Xbox is a merge of the Windows storefront as well, so it's not going anywhere. It's integrated for current and the future. The thing is, it's only used here. That's my point. Let's see. Roberto C. Every platform is an Xbox, in other words. I mean, Sarah Bond did come out and say every screen is an Xbox. So, yeah. Yeah, that's and El Nini says, PlayStation and Nintendo are not pivoting anytime soon. They are not. Let's see. Let's see. And and he's not talking to us. He's talking to the shareholders and has to shift. Not just Phil's, but all heads of Microsoft talk like this. Yeah, that's what I said. I feel like they go to the same corporate speak school. Yeah. And Roberto Z points out that PlayStation lost Faction, Spider-Man Multiplayer, and Twisted Metal. Yeah. They've lost more than we have. That's for sure. The pasture's greener over here. Let's see. Terry, consoles are going to be here for at least 2 more generations. That's why they're talking about the gaming landscape for the next 10 to 15 years. Absolutely. Back from the Dead says, easy solution. Stop reading the negative articles. If you stop feeding the monster, it'll die. It will, I would hope, die. But the thing is, like, just make no mistake, I'm an Xbox gamer and I love a lot of what Xbox does, but that doesn't mean that I'm a blind fanboy, right? There's stuff that Xbox does that pisses Terry off. It doesn't piss me off, but it pisses her off. We're just kind of opposite sides of the same coin, if you will, And Frank's the same way, like I said, if Xbox goes full third party and Game Pass is the exclusive, I'm just going to switch over to PC because I've always been a PC gamer. I'm not really leaving anything behind. I still have access to all my Xbox games, and I'm not going to sell my consoles. I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like, oh, Xbox did this, I'm going to sell or smash my console. No, that's not me, right? That's not me. I paid money for it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep access to it as long as it works, as long as it turns on. And then when it doesn't turn off, I'm going to look for one that does. So that's just the way I am. The Xbox is shifting and pivoting, and I just think that Gamescom could have went a lot better for them if they would have done a couple of things different. I do love a lot of what was shown. I'm critical of the way they announced the PS5 port of Indiana Jones. I'm critical of the way Towerborne is being handled with PC first, and just all that stuff that came with it. So I'm not saying that there wasn't anything at Gamescom shown off. As a matter of fact, let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about things that Xbox did at Gamescom that we did like. So we'll start with Frank because you're our guest, Frank. What did Xbox announce at Gamescom that you enjoyed?
Obviously more Diablo. That's like my biggest one. I know it was already announced, but that was what I was pretty excited
they showed
for.
more Diablo Immortal?
Yeah, Diablo. Avowed, obviously. I'm excited for that. Seeing more of that looks good. Those are pretty much the big ones. I didn't see anything else too crazy that I really that I was really like looking forward to. But Diablo is coming out soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this was a big one for me, for sure.
Yeah, Diablo 4. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this one so much as well.
Yeah,
I've played every Diablo game in existence. I'm a huge Diablo fan. The fact that I can, I played this before it came to Game Pass because I didn't care. This is one of those.
Yeah,
I'm going to play it no matter what. And I just cannot wait to play the Vessel of Hatred and see how the story progresses. And then I got to wait another 10 years to the next part of the story.
Yep.
It makes me sad. I wish they would just keep adding to it. Diablo 2 had 2 DLCs.
Yeah.
I hope this one has 2 DLCs.
They should. I mean, it looks like it's going to sell really well. Everyone's excited for it. So
I'm 100% looking at taking on Mephisto. That's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. Diablo, Terry, you excited for it?
Nah.
That's a no from Terry. Let's see. Shout out to Polygon for gathering all these videos. Let's see. Avowed. Did they not gather? Did I misspell Avowed? They didn't gather Avowed. Okay, the Avowed trailer. I think it was an Avowed extended gameplay, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know if they showed it at the. They had it like a demo or something, and I saw some stuff from it. I don't know if they necessarily showcased it, but
I thought it was. Let me see. Avowed trailer Gamescom. That's all I'm going to type in. Avowed demo deep dive. They did a deep dive.
Yeah.
On it, and I'm not going to click on that video because I don't support that website. But yeah, they did show something new on Avowed. For those of you who are PC platform people, check this out: ray tracing, DLSS, all of that good stuff. Look how good this looks. Are you going to upgrade to a 4090, Frank?
I have a 4070 Ti, so I'm good.
4090 was the question, sir.
I'm not crazy. I also don't have unlimited money, so there's no way.
What?
If I hit the lottery, sure, I'll get a 4090.
Yeah, this looks so good. It looks so good. And the 4090 will be able to handle this ray tracing at an epic 30 frames per second.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I think you could get a little more out of it, right?
Yeah, no, this looks great. The environments look great. I can't wait to play this game. I think it looks fantastic. Terry, are you excited for Avowed?
Yes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yes, and of course, it's going to look fantastic on the Xbox. This is just the trailer I showed. All right, let me go over to Terry. Terry, what game are you excited about?
I probably don't want to be like the only one, but Roadcraft.
What is it?
Roadcraft. By the makers of SnowRunner.
Oh yeah, the SnowRunner game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Hold on. How do you spell it? One word or 2 words?
One word, Roadcraft.
Roadcraft. I knew when I saw it, I immediately thought of you. Let's see. Focus Entertainment Roadcraft reveal trailer. Yes. Did they add to Expeditions the multiplayer yet?
I don't think multiplayer is on it. That's why I haven't touched Expedition because multiplayer, as far as I know, still hasn't been launched. So I haven't touched it. But now they got another game coming. I'm like, oh gosh.
Screw Expeditions. It's all about Roadcraft.
this one. I'm more hyped for this than Expeditions.
Yeah. So Roadcraft is where you clean up disasters, right?
Yeah, we get to fix it. So like one of the biggest things, so I am a huge fan of SnowRunner. SnowRunner is the sequel to MudRunner.
Everybody played it. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's so fun. But and aggravating. It's one of those games. It's a love-hate relationship. but it's so fun. And one of the things that my friends and I have always kind of commented on is it sure would be nice. My dog is hacking up along. It sure would be nice if we could patch the roads because the roads in the game are just awful. So most of the time, you might not even be on the road. You might intentionally just drive through the grass because it's smoother and faster than to be on the road. So they heard us and they're like, yo, let's make a game dedicated to fixing the roads. I'm all in. That's my dream come true. I've been wanting to fix these roads Sign me up. I'm fixing these roads. I'm
All
doing
right, now,
it.
Terry, for this pothole, don't forget to block off the access road, the highway from here to the next neighboring city, and the neighboring city before that. All right, reduce it down to 1 lane. Okay. Don't forget to do that, okay? And take about 6 years to fix a pothole.
Both Mud Runner and Snow Runner, they literally will have a bridge out, and then they're like, "Hey, your detour is to just drive through the water. We're not even going to give you an actual bridge or route you around the river. No, just ford the river and drown."
I got into the point on Snow Runner where all of my vehicles have broken down or gone and stuck, and I cannot finish the mission, and I have to load a save point.
Oh man!
I have to restart the whole scenario again.
Yeah, co-op is like the way to go when it comes to Snow Runner, because
oh my gosh,
it's the only way to get anything done is you need to have a buddy. You have to have a buddy.
I asked one of my friends to play Snow Runner with me, and he goes, "What is Snow Runner?" And I explained it to him. He's like, "So you want me to do what my dad does for a living?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "There's a reason why I didn't do what my dad does for a living. I don't want to play that game." I'm like, "Come on, man."
Well, look, it's different. Okay, I hate mowing my lawn. I hate it in real life. But you know what? Lawnmower sim is fun. You know? Because you don't have to deal with the hot sweat in the sun. You don't have to deal with all that.
Yeah, look at that. Clear, supply, rebuild, Terry.
Yes! I'm so hyped for that.
Roadcraft.
Like, expeditions no longer matters. This is where it's at.
Expeditions. Expo who? Yeah, and of course I couldn't end this podcast in a negative note, guys. We had to talk about the games we're excited for. Even though I have criticisms, there was stuff announced that we love. Look what's here. A Mud Runner game, Expeditions. Yeah. Frank, Roadcraft, do you play any Snow Runner, Mud Runner, Expeditions?
This is the first I'm seeing this, but it actually looks pretty fun. Like, I might want to check this out. Like, I like these kind of games where you do like Power Wash Simulator. So I know it sounds stupid, but I like,
oh my gosh,
they're kind of fun to just chill and play for a little bit. I'm not like hardcore into it, but I might actually check this out. It looks cool.
Yeah, no, this game, and it takes driving seriously. Like, you need to gas up. You need to fix the vehicle before you do anything. You need to understand the gear shifting in that vehicle, and each vehicle has a different gear shift system.
I probably won't be able to go anywhere, but I'll try.
Oh man, the tutorial.
No, they make it. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not that bad. It's literally
you're gonna get stuck.
Forward, reverse, high, low. It's not that complicated.
I'm gonna have to call a tow truck in the game.
If you guys ever play Snow Runner on a stream, invite me. Please invite me. Send me a text. Invite me.
No lie, Axel. I'm actually planning on playing Snow Runner today.
Oh my gosh, I can't today. I got to install a new security system.
Well, there you go.
I mean, other than today, Terry.
Other than today, I'll play with you. But today you're not good enough for me today. Safety and all that comes first.
I'll make you start a game of Snow Runner on my save. Okay. All that experience counts for nothing on my save. No,
you actually
Game Pass. Snow Runner's on Game Pass. Have you played Snow Runner, Frank?
No, I have never played it.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Let me show you the Snow Runner trailer, my guy.
If it's on Game Pass, maybe.
It's on Game Pass. It is. And like I said, this is one of those games you want a buddy, otherwise you're gonna hate life. Imagine playing on the worst road you ever saw, and you're all alone, and there's no one you can get help. You're gonna hate life. You want a buddy to come help you.
So this is Snow Runner right here. Look at everybody's struggling. Look at these crappy roads. Terry says that need to be fixed.
Yes, literally, they're making it look easy. No, you're not. You're
not gonna be going that fast.
You're not driving that fast, man.
No
you're
way.
Getting stuck.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then almost every tree you try to winch to breaks.
Or your winch disconnects.
Yes.
Even if you winch onto your other car, guess what? It's like the car's not moving, so break the winch.
Trust me, I would say if you're gonna try Snow Runner, find someone to play it with you, because otherwise you're not gonna. I feel like a lot of people don't have that's gonna happen so much.
Oh, no.
You're not gonna have a positive experience going in solo.
No.
Yeah, this looks pretty intense.
It's intense. Great. And it's slow. It's one of those games that's good. Like one scenario will take you like 10 hours to clear.
Oh, geez. That's crazy.
Don't be thinking you're going to play a scenario and be like, okay, in 1 or 2 hours, I'll clear the scenario. No.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Terry, back me up here.
I agree. Like the logging missions are my most hated logging. Okay, picture this. You have your logging truck, right?
Yeah.
And you're going on an incline. So what happens? Your trailer tilts. Then what happens? Your bindings break. Then what happens?
No.
Your logs come out. Now you're stuck on an incline, trying to use a crane, trying to put your logs back on your trailer. Meanwhile, your truck is sliding down the mountainside. No, dude, this is a skill game.
You have to pick all the logs back up, like
Yes.
No,
oh
you
my
gotta pick
god,
up 3. You gotta pick up 3, and then
okay.
it just calculates it as loaded.
That's so pretty crazy though.
But yeah, no, this is a game of skill. Like, and
by the way, if you want to troll your
fortitude.
friends, this is the game to troll them on.
Yes, this is like I said, this is a love-hate relationship. There's moments when I'm playing with my friends and everything's going well and we're loving life.
Oh,
But then
that lasts about 5 minutes.
but then one buddy gets stuck or one buddy rolls over and nope, now we're stuck here for 2 hours fixing that guy's mistake.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
See what I mean? 2 hours. That's why I said
That sounds annoying,
10.
but cool.
No, this game is, you know, it's
fun. It's fun though, Frank. I'm gonna tell you, it's fun. It's worth it.
It's not for everyone, but like I said, if you want to experience it, have a buddy because once you kind of see how well the game can go, then you can play it solo after that, and and you'll have a better idea of how to play it, so that way you can make your life better versus just going in with no knowledge and playing it solo. You're not going to know what to do, and you're just going to hate life.
Just flooring the gas and hoping I make it.
You're
don't do that.
Floor the gas. You can't just floor the gas.
See how he got stuck? He barely even got in there. So
you can't, man. But yeah, this game looks great. I gotta agree with Terry.
I'm
Roadcraft, amazing. Let's see. Roberto C. Sorry. El Nini says Towerborne looks amazing. It absolutely does. Jesse Darby, Stalker 2 is a big one. Yes, absolutely.
That looks good too.
Yes. Miss Coolcat should be Xbox lawyer. She is positive towards Xbox. Absolutely. She loves her Xbox, as we all do. But, today was about pissing Terry off. Game Complainer says 5090 coming soon. Oh, yeah, that's right. You got to load that 5090 up, Frank.
Yeah,
only
right.
$6,000 probably.
Yeah.
And then the black market's going to bump it up to 12.
That's fine. That's worth it.
Yeah. Back from the Dead says Power Wash Simulator is relaxing, sometimes too much, and you fall asleep. Wow.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Imagine playing this at 30 FPS. Roadcraft? It's probably going to be at 30 FPS. I don't know. It's low enough to be at 30, which is fine. Let's see. Back from the Dead says, I'm already pissed off enough at construction in my area. Why would I want to play a game about it? It's a running joke in Illinois. We have 2 seasons, winter and construction.
True. I lived in Illinois. This is true, but Back from the Dead, because now you're in control. You can see that the construction gets finished. You're given the power.
Yeah. Four Swords is a great troll game. Almost 20 hours right there. Is he talking about Legend of Zelda 4 Swords?
Yeah, the Zelda 4 Swords. It's really fun.
Yes. All right. So I had lots of games, but I'm going to stick to the Xbox games, of course. So PC only out. So you guys are probably going to get mad at me for these. Okay, so let me do this here. I'm not excited about this. I'm pulling up the trailer. Hold on. So I am talking about. I am talking about this game that I love the series on because it's an Axel game. And it got announced just this week. And that is none other than 2 Point Museum. That's right. You played 2 Point Hospital. You played 2 Point Campus. It's now time to get your 2 Point Museum going on, baby. Yeah, I love the 2 Point games because they don't take anything serious, right? Even the hospital, the diseases were all fake. The cures were all fake. Everything is fake. 2 Point Campus, same things. The college life was all fake. The classes were all fake. It's like sarcasm. Build a museum with sarcasm in mind. Like, oh, this person is bored because there's no technology. Build them in technology. And look at this. They're showing them an antique computer. I mean, come on. This is hilarious. I love the 2 Point series. I'm very much into them. I love playing them. I can't get enough of them. The scenarios aren't as easy as you would think. These 2 Point citizens are very annoying and picky.
So many lawsuits are happening in this museum.
Oh, yes. This would never be a real museum. But yeah, this is the whole thing about 2 Point is that it is exaggerated fun, the way it should be, right? Which is what it should be. It's a builder game. So like if you remember like Roller Coaster Tycoon and stuff was like just kind of trying to simulate real theme parks. 2 Point took that and just was like, what if we don't simulate real stuff? We just take inspiration from it. So I love the 2 Point series because it's just exaggerated. When I was thinking of 2 Point Hospital, I'm like, oh man, they're gonna make me cure diseases that I don't want to see and all this stuff. None of it was real. None of it was real. They like somebody came with a hurt funny bone and they came in as a clown.
Oh wow!
And you had to take them into a circus to cure them of their funny bone. I mean, it was funny. That's what I mean. Like none of it was real. It was all fake. 2 Point Museum, new game announcements. This one is fantastic. I really cannot wait for it. Frank, 2 Point. Have you ever played any of the 2 Point games?
I haven't. I used to play Zoo Tycoon religiously, like when it was new. I played a ton of that. So, I mean, this looks like something I might be interested in. I don't know. I've never played any of the other ones. So,
yeah, they used to be on Game Pass. I don't think they are anymore, but they used to be.
Yeah.
But either way, you should get them because they're always on sale. They're Sega games.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely get the 2 Point games. Terry, have you ever played the 2 Points? I know these probably aren't your thing. They're not co-op.
No. No, I haven't played these, but yeah, no, kind of like I played things in this vein, back in the day. I used to play like the oh my god, like way back. I did Dinosaur Tycoon. I loved it.
Yeah,
that's way back. That's DOS. But then like they had the Safari games too. So you had to build up like your safari parks. I really loved playing those games back in the day, but I never got into the 2 Points. But this one does look pretty cool. Like I feel like this is more my thing. Like the hospital. What was the first one they did?
2 Point Hospital.
Hospital, yeah. So yeah, I was never interested in that whole scope, and then they made it, and then the ones that they were making just didn't appeal to me. Like I was always more wilderness kind of stuff. So I feel like the museum kind of gets in there a little bit more. So that I'm definitely intrigued by that. I think I might be willing to try this out because I mean I do enjoy those style of games. I just haven't played them in a long time because they haven't really made anything to me. And like even like the newer Zoo Tycoons that they make now aren't don't play anything like the ones I grew up on.
No.
So it's to find something that kind of is in that same vein, is different because looking back the city one, the
City Skyline, SimCity, which one?
SimCity. I loved SimCity, and then City Skylines kind of took over. SimCity started getting really awful. Like I don't like City Skylines because I like SimCity, but SimCity isn't SimCity anymore. SimCity went down the toilet. So to find something that kind of is in that vein is what would be great. So I mean, this is a possibility.
Yeah, the 2 Point series for me is great. By the way, I just looked it up. 2 Point is no longer on Game Pass. So you got to buy it.
I'm sure I'll
probably because they're probably going to drop this one on there, so they're taking the old one off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. They don't launch on Game Pass. I'll just tell you that right now. So if you want to play 2 Point Day 1, they don't launch on Game Pass. And I think only 2 Point Hospital came to Game Pass. 2 Point Campus never came.
So maybe Campus is going to come on now, and then this game will come out, and then once this game gets kind of older, then they'll maybe switch.
Yeah, and it's just fun. It's just so much fun. I have fun with it because it's an unserious builder game. And that's what I love about it. So, yeah. And, of course, the other thing I'm excited about doesn't need to be said. I love space. And I think Starfield is one of the greatest space games ever made. Terry says, oh, the emptiness, but you got to appreciate the beauty of the stars. Okay? Terry is more of a beauty of foliage. I'm a beauty of the emptiness of space.
He likes looking at rock and dust.
I like looking at the stars. And I love that this they made this like a car commercial. They made it like if they're advertising a car like in modern times. So I'm very much happy with the Rev 8. If you've been watching, they've already modded the Warthog onto Starfield.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So my thing is some of the planets have low gravity. So if you're launching yourself off, technically, wouldn't you just take your I don't know what they're calling it, your rover? I don't know what they're calling it, but wouldn't you just fly into the atmosphere? Because
you technically would.
Because you would, but is the game how's the game going to do the physics? Because some of gravity was a big thing that they implemented on all their planets.
Changing gravity was, but you can't leave a planet seamlessly. That's the one thing. It's cutscene based.
Yeah, so are you gonna get stuck just floating up and hitting an invisible ceiling?
So I have jumped onto a taken off ship, a pirate ship. I've taken off on it to see if it will take me up into space, because it will go all the way up into space, right? Nope.
Yeah.
I hit the ceiling. I clip through the pirate ship and fall back all the way down to the surface.
And there's no fall damage in the game, so at least you didn't go splat.
Oh, there's fall damage. You can definitely take fall damage, but you have a rocket booster.
Oh, yeah, maybe there was a little bit. I think later on, basically there isn't any because you get so many skills.
No, it's because you have a jetpack. So I'm falling like 10 feet before I hit the ground. Jetpack, all fall damage negated. So yeah.
Rev 8.
Yes, and I'm excited to play Rev 8, and of course I'm excited for Shattered Space. And I was telling my wife I want to launch Starfield so I can drive around some moons and stuff on my Rev 8 and figure it out. Like I want to see if it can, like some of these mountains that they put in Starfield, like are straight up.
Yeah, they literally have ones that you can't scale on foot. So
no, you can definitely scale them. You're just going to be maxing out your stamina meter.
I don't know.
All the time. And then you stop to recharge and you go down the mountain for a while.
I feel like if the grade is too steep and even the ones that are like icy or sandy, that you shouldn't be able to climb it.
No. All right, this is Starfield, okay? Not Mud Runner game Starfield, okay? This is just Starfield. Yeah, and of course, Shattered Space looks fantastic, so I am very excited for it. They did a Shattered Space, another deep dive on Shattered Space, and I watched that. That was super, super duper cool. Love it. Cannot wait for this to come out. So 2 Point and Starfield are mine. Frank, Starfield.
I beat Starfield, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely down for some more content. I'll be checking this out. And the vehicles were much needed, much needed addition. So this will be good.
Absolutely. Terry, are you going to get into Starfield? Are you going to jump in your Rev 8?
Probably not. I beat the game, and I just have no interest in going back and doing any content for it. I did not enjoy it enough to do DLC. I finished it just so I could say I finished it, so that way people are like, "Oh, well, you can't comment on the game because you didn't beat it." Like, I beat that game. I didn't like it. All right.
I mean, it happens sometimes. Yeah. Let's see. Doggy Dog says, I love SimCity on the SNES. Yeah, that was great. And Cam MMA says, good morning, Phil Spencer. Yes, absolutely. But I think that's going to do it for the show today. Those are the games we're excited about, everybody. Let us know which ones you are excited about in the chat before we get out of here. And, of course, before we get out of here, Frank, let the people know one more time where they can find you.
Every Wednesday between 9:30 and 9:45 on the Game Complainers on YouTube. You can find me. We usually cover the news, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Awesome. And of course, Frank, thank you so much for agreeing to be here, not just here, but also on Iconic Video Games on Friday night.
Thank you for having me. Fun. This was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, hopefully everybody, I know that today was more of a negative episode. I understand we're usually very positive here, but like I said, not everything Xbox does is going to be rainbows and sunshine. We all have our criticisms. But Terry is right. We are better on Xbox because we get games that are made just for the series consoles. Flight Simulator, Hellblade. I mean, I love Flight Simulator. Obviously, Frank, you know how much I love Flight Simulator.
I'll be checking that out.
You know how much I love Hellblade. I gave Hellblade a 10 out of 10. So, yeah. Xbox is still treating us really good, but of course, I want the best. Terry might be okay with settling, but not me. I'm just messing with you, Terry. I'm just messing with you. All right. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm Cool Cat Terry.
And of course, we'll catch you guys next week because, of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to all of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. And I think that's it. We'll catch you guys next week. But before we go, Jesse Darby's excited for Stalker 2, Indiana Jones. Doggy Dog's excited for Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Space Marine 2, yeah. And Fatal Fury, yeah. Be sure to catch everybody live on their channels. Be sure